All right, let's just start.
I don't want to smash that like. You want to know why? And Mike Lee's in the room. Dom's in the room. Tommy for one, Tommy's in the room. James Williams is in the room. Everyone's in his house. Smash that like. Get this shit going. And I got music coming in because you know what? It's party time here. Not only in the UK, but it's party time all around. And he's back. He's better than ever. He's like the $3 man, not the $6 million man. He's like the $3 million man. It's the Dahmer. It's the Duke of Funk coming in live to talk about these wonderful Giants, the wonderful Jacks. Dom, what's up? We all thought you died.
All good. All good. No, not quite. Nearly. No, very close. But I'm here. I'm here to cut your subscriber count by at least 20 tonight.
At least 20. James says, hit the like button as soon as you walk into the club. Tip your waitress. Don Juan Dom, where the hell have you been, brother? Where have you been?
I got banned for poor performance.
Blimey, he got banned. He no longer in the room talking. Tommy for one, Tommy White Chocolate, our guy Giants from worst to first is 0 to Nero. I thought it was 0 to hero.
Nero was a Roman emperor, so maybe we're building an empire like the Romans did.
And then Dominic Palmer says, I've been busy and I've been ill, but excited to be back. Do not like, because this should be a fun one.
Do not like.
It says do not like.
It doesn't say do not like.
It says do not like. See, it's gone already. Mike Lee says smash the like button, or Tim won't speak, and that's a lie. Dom! Jay's in the house saying that damn like button slapped me. Mr. Alvarez says, what is it? You're
striking to your liking.
You're striking to your liking. Mr. Alvarez says, hit the like button so hard. It's children to feel. I do not abdicate child abuse. I'm just throwing that out right there. Tom's in the house. What's up, Tom? OGR Sports. Timber, we record today. What's up, Tom? OGR, I just got back from the gym. I got your text message, but I was in the gym for the last 2.5 hours. So we will discuss that later. Big Tom says, going on here. Looks like our stadium is about to burn if we talk about Nero. We don't need no water. Let them.
I know someone who would like our stadium to burn. Where is he?
Yeah, where is he? Kareem says, hey, Kareem, what's going on? Hez, how's it going, Tim and Don? We haven't, I've been slowing down on streams. So we just did a stream a couple weeks ago, or like a week and a half ago, or a week ago, and I did one after that. So not that there's not content to talk about, Dom. We had day 8 of the OTAs today, and I find this interesting, and I want to get your perspective because we haven't talked about this. The Giant media blackout. The Giants only allow the media from in-house, which is basically their marketing department, to put out the news in regards to the OTAs. One day a week, uno day. In Britain, that would refer to as one day. They allow the press to actually come in and we get some actual news. And I know they're trying to control the narrative, but in the 30 plus years I've watched football, in the time that I worked in football, I've never seen this. Truly, never sseen it.
Look, you're exactly right. It's controlling the narrative, right? Then you can put out the film you want to put out. You can put out that great pass, that great catch, whatever it is, and pretend the 6 drops never happened. But I mean, they can do what they want, right? It's OTAs at the end of the day. It's not the end of the world, but yeah, I think really if you want a true handle on what's happening at OTAs, then you have to wait for that one day a week. But hey, maybe the Patriots might want to do it after the way Joe Judge has got their offense running in OTAs by all accounts.
Oh my God. We're not going to talk about the juggernaut. But my thing is this: are you risking a blowback from the fans if you control the narrative to a point that all of a sudden, when we go 0-5, let's say, that you have created this almost false narrative? Vegas has dropped the Giants line from 7 wins to 5 wins.
So I always thought 7 wins was high. I always
thought, because the Vegas line, when it first comes out, you'd never listen to it. You wait till you get closer to season, but they've already dropped it to 5 wins.
I mean, I would have taken the under on the 7 wins immediately.
So would I. Immediately, I would have made that bet.
But yeah, I mean, I think you're right. And the odd thing is, you've got Shane and Dable, right, sort of trying to play down expectations a lot. And I think that's sensible. I think that's absolutely right that they're doing that, because I don't expect to be good this year. You're hoping to see a scheme. You're hoping to see some individuals to come through and to start to gel and work out who are the players for the future. How are we going to play going forward so that we can start to move forward in the coming years? This year it's not a write-off year, but we're not going to be good. And in no universe are we going to be good. So you've got that.
It's okay. You can say it's a write-off year. It's a write-off year. You can say it.
But it's not a write-off year because you've got players that you're hoping it's a write-off year in terms of results, but it's not a write-off year in terms of development of some of the players on this roster. You're hoping from that.
That's what I said. That's what I've said a million times. I don't care if they win 4 games. I do care if they progress.
Yeah.
And you see individual progression for this team via whoever they've drafted or brought in or whomever. Yeah. That's what I want to see. Big news, though. Shut up already. You can have a point in a minute. Big news. August 21st is the first Giant home game. It is a Sunday. There's against the Cincinnati Bengals. I will be at that game. I was chatting with some people today, texting in the gym. We're probably going to do a little meet and greet thing in the parking lot. So if you want to come and just hang out, it'll be like a live stream, but we'll all be there in person. I want everyone to hold up like signs. But we'll do something.
What's this meeting in person thing you're talking about?
I don't know. Blimey, I don't know. I'm a cocky bootlack. But we'll do something in the parking lot. If you want to just stop by and say, hey, that's fine. I always park.
You might want to clarify what you're doing in this parking lot rather than just say we'll do something in the parking lot.
We're going to talk about it later. We'll talk about it more as we come in here. Let's see. I got a couple questions coming in, but I got to acknowledge Big Don, who is always dropping either stickers or he's always giving money to the kids. We all still give the money to the Philadelphia Children's Hospital for all the streams. I really got to get back in the streams because I really didn't donate a lot of money last month. So I think I start getting back into a stream. But Big Don's also going to be dropping in on a show coming up. We picked out a date yet, but we will have that. I want to get to Jay's question real quick. Who's calling the offensive plays, Dable or Kafka? I 100% say it's going to be Dable. I see this being a Kansas City situation where Eric Bieniemy installed the system, and then the Walrus called the plays until about 2018, and then Bieniemy took over the systems. What are you laughing about?
I just love the Walrus.
That's his name. He's nicknamed the Walrus. So who do you think's calling the plays, Dahmer?
I think you're right. I can't see it being anyone other than Dable. I mean, the only thing we would say is the risk is Kafka, right? He's very inexperienced. Right. You've got him calling the plays. It's his inexperience could tell. Having said that, as we said, in terms of results, it's a write-off season. So if you envisage him calling the plays in season 2 or 3, then why not have him start calling them in season 1, where expectations are so low? But I can't see it being anyone other than Dable. It's
low as the expectations for when we do these streams. That's how low those expectations are. But I think that's a good. Oh, I gotta stop the cameras. My camera a second because I got to do something real quick. So Dom, I'm gonna still stay on. You keep talking.
Oh God. Anyway,
I'm still here.
I know it's just really weird seeing.
I had a piece of
your logo talk at me.
I had a piece of apple on my tooth. That's what it says. Mr. Bazinga says Dom's hair is on point, shaved, shag baby. Yeah.
I'm going for the Leo Sayer look.
Huh?
I'm going for the Leo Sayer look.
He's going for the Leo Sayer look. Hearst Real says, "What's up, Tim and Dom? Giants will beat the spread all year long." Tommy, for one, he is a big Giant fan. I mean, big.
Is that the sort of spread you get in the chilled aisle at the supermarket, right?
It could be that.
We could beat that. We could beat that too.
We could beat that spread, but I don't know. Dom has a lot to say today. He has a lot to catch up on. Jolly good old chap. And we see your Tommy says Vegas will have teams beating us by double. Vegas will have teams beating us by double digits. I think teams will beat us by double digits.
Yeah, it's not surprising some teams do. What you have to hope is as the season goes on, those results get more and more competitive, and we start to pick up a few wins towards the end.
If you look at this roster, there's a lot of ifs again, and there's a lot of young talent that people are trying to. And again, this is about controlling the narrative that people are trying to push. I mean, what's his name? Bellinger. I'm actually getting sick of hearing about him. I really am. I hope the kid does fantastic, but I'm tired of hearing how he's Mark Bavaro, Bob Tucker, rolled up into Jeremy Shockey, and he hasn't even taken a snap yet.
He's a new version of whoever the Falcon signed last year because I've temporarily forgotten his name.
He's Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts.
He's Travis Kelce. And
I mean, if he turns into Travis Kelce, I am very, very happy.
I would be very happy too. But I keep saying this, and I keep saying this over and over again. People get so mad at me. Just let the kid get on the field.
I mean, I have high hopes for him, but we've not seen him. And he's a 4th round pick still. And don't get me wrong, for a tight end, that's not as low as it would be in some other positions. But you know, let's see what he got. And he's also going to come in on a very bad, best average team, but it's going to be a below average team he's coming into. You know, let's give him a season or two to develop.
Right, give him some time. Give these kids, and I keep saying this. I keep doing videos saying, just give these kids time. Give them time. That's all. Mike Lee's making a joke. He says progressions like Daniel Jones. Hopefully, it's not that bad. Mike Lee's back from his world tour.
Pat.
People, I love it. Someone sent me on Twitter and says, other quarterbacks pat the ball. You're just making fun of Daniel Jones. I'm saying I'm not making fun of the kid. He pats the ball. He's burping the baby. That's the expression. He's burping the baby. Back in my day was burping the baby.
It's not the patting the ball. It's a patting the ball when you've got to be getting rid of it. That's the problem, because you've got some great big juggernaut, you know, 2 yards away from you, about to smack you in the face.
We're going to talk about juggernauts, and we're going to talk about Daniel Jones. Bazinga says, "Don't put the French fries in your mouth like a walrus." We're talking about the walrus.
I had French fries yesterday.
Ooh, wouldn't they be freedom fries? Or wouldn't they be English fries?
No, it's
one of the British bacon.
There is, yeah, or as I like to call it, bacon.
This is
what was making me laugh earlier. By the way, you were talking and you're making a serious point, and I couldn't help but laugh because I saw this come up.
Sports dropping the big super chat. Did you hear the new rumor? People are now blaming Joe Judge for how bad Daniel Jones has been. Your thoughts? What are my thoughts about that, Dom? What are my thoughts about that?
Go for it. Go rant away if you want to. I'm tired of ranting on this subject.
My thoughts are this: it's 2019. I am sitting there watching the draft. I see the Daniel Jones pick, and then I hear, and everything's all better. I've been neuralized. I did a video today, Dom, about Daniel Jones and Darius Slayton, and how I actually got the opportunity to watch the what they refer to as the broadcast feed that you usually see on satellite, and it's basically the feed that you get to see the different camera views, you get to see the different angles. You don't hear the announcers or anything, but you just see the plays. And I got to watch the first, I think it was about the first 8 games. And I sat there and I don't want to ruin the video because, I need the likes. But I sat there and I looked at these games and I saw Darius Slayton at times. And again, it doesn't show individual players. It just shows you.
If you're looking for him, though, you can see him, right?
You can see him, but not every play. So I couldn't judge every single play. And I laughed because I took a look at the videos and I'm like, there's a couple of times, yes, that he's open. And yes, he did drop the ball in that first game in Washington. So there was
receivers drop balls, right? I mean,
receivers drop. He dropped 6 this year, 6 last year, I think 4 his rookie season. But you could see that at times he was open. And I did an entire breakdown of, the amount of plays he had, because he ran something like 30 something less plays. He started playing 13 games, only started 5. So if you look down the numbers statistically, it's not that he had a terrible season. There was factors in regards to him having a bad season. And then I brought up the fact that people are like, well, Daniel Jones barely threw the ball, because of the conservativeness of Jason Garrett's offense. And then I go back to Daniel Jones stats and I look at week 1, it's 37 attempts, 32 attempts, 35 attempts, 40 attempts. He only had 31 attempts in the week 5 because he got hurt, but then he's got 51, 33, 32. So if you broke down that average, he was averaging almost 38 attempts a game. Daniel Jones is. So it's not like he's not dropping
an insignificant amount.
Yes, higher than league average.
At least he's higher than league average in something.
He's league average. He's high league average with bad haircuts. But and
fumbles.
And fumbles. But I'm not trying to downplay Daniel Jones. I'm just pointing out facts to people that you're telling me the offense was vanilla. You were telling me that all they ran was curl routes. I'm watching this footage. I'm watching this, going to myself. I don't see all these curl routes. I see separation. And we've talked about it a million times in this league. You throw your wide receivers open. When you have 1.5 to 2 yards of freaking separation, you should be able to create a throwing window to these guys. Then
it's not college anymore.
It's not. Then you accumulate in the fact that Daniel Jones held onto the ball the 6th longest. He was 3rd longest last year. 2 years ago, he was 6th longest in the league holding onto the ball. So you're dropping back above the league average. You hold on to the ball the 6th longest in the league. Why is it always on the offensive line's fault? And why is it always on the wide receiver's fault? And I felt bad for Darius because there were times that he was open. Not by a little bit. And we've seen this even on the regular TV. Not by a little bit, but by a lot. But it's not Daniel Jones' fault.
It's never. Look, here's where I stand on this. And I've said it before, so it won't be new, so I'm going to be quick. I think Judge, and it doesn't matter what he runs anymore. He's out of here. He's gone.
Right.
He ran he was looking to limit the mistakes from Daniel Jones, if I'm honest. And I suspect we were trying to call plays where the number one target for Daniel Jones was on a low risk, low reward route. The problem that I have, and I don't think that helped us last year. And I'm not blaming Garrett for that because it's the head coach that will ultimately make that. But I don't think it was as bad as advertised. And we saw that after Garrett when what's his face Kitchen started taking those plays. Secondly, I think that Daniel Jones probably suffers from a bit of a confidence issue, and that is what it is. But if you're an NFL quarterback, you have to believe in yourself. You have to be the leader on that team. You cannot go through confidence losses. You have to believe in yourself. You know, the best quarterbacks go out there, they throw an interception, they throw a second interception, they might throw a third interception, but on the fourth one, they still back themselves to go and throw a touchdown pass, right? You know, the Phil Simms example that you often use about, how just go out there and play. I don't care if you throw three into
the 86 season.
Yeah, exactly. But I think the thing is, it's all between the head. I just don't think he sees the field. I do, and I said this when someone asked, "Would you upgrade the tight ends or the wide receivers?" And both probably need upgrading if we want to be where we want to be. But you can't do everything at once. Now we have drafted a wide receiver, we've drafted a tight end. But my argument for the tight end, apart from the fact there was no tight ends, was the fact that I didn't think the wide receiver group was as bad as it appeared last year. Because I've always felt that if we throw to them and made those throws to them more, they would make more catches and more yards. And I think the point you just made there probably illustrates it exactly as it was. And on Darius Slayton, I was wrong last year. I thought he was going to be an above average wide receiver.
After what he showed in the first 2 years.
Would demonstrate that he was a wide receiver 2. Never thought he was a wide receiver 1. Would demonstrate he's a wide receiver 2. But I don't think he's done. I don't think it's over for him. It'd be interesting to see how he goes this year as a 2 or 3. I still think he's a 2 or 3 in this league. He's probably a poor 2, good 3. It's probably where I put him at. And I'm going to stick my neck out on again and say that now. But he has to continue getting separation, and Daniel Jones has to find him.
Well, I think that's
has to take over.
It's funny though. I don't even want to look at Kenny G's film. I was thinking about it. First of all, I'm too tired to look at the film because it takes a while to look at this damn film. Because I still use a system which was referred to it's referred to as an XOS digital replay system, and it takes forever because it's old. So it's hard to go back and forth all the time. So I don't want to really look at Kenny G's. But
I just heard something about being old. You mean the film or you?
Both. And I don't want to go back and look at it because I don't want to. I even said in the video I was wrong about Darius. I was wrong. I was wrong to think that his season was such crap that we should get rid of him until I actually sat down and looked at it. And I'm worried that I'm going to do that for Kenny, which I don't think so. And then
and it will prove not to be the case.
And it proved not to be the case because I don't want to keep admitting I'm wrong. Doing it. L. Hey, Tim. Hey, Dom. Let's go, Big Blue. Mr. Alvarez, Big L's in the house. Big L. What's going on, my friend? Gotta come back. So I miss everyone. Jones is a first-read quarterback who fans complain about the second and third option receivers, how they don't get any targets. Jones is trash. I don't know if he's trash, and I've said this a million times. The Giants don't win without Daniel Jones this year. I don't know what I don't think Tyrod Taylor is up for full 17 games. I don't think he's going to be as bad as Fromm or Glennon.
Well, here's hoping not. No, I mean Daniel Jones he's a backup quarterback, poor end starter. That's his ceiling.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That makes him one of the best 50 quarterbacks in the country.
Right. You know what? I can't be a quarterback.
Me neither.
Even in my youth, I couldn't be a quarterback. So you know what?
I'm too tall to be a quarterback.
You're in the Smurf League. Tommy for one Tommy says he pats the ball like a baby. Sean Lee, are you telling Giant fans not to be optimistic? No, I'm telling Giant fans to be realistic.
Realistic, yeah.
There's a difference between being optimistic and stupid. And the last couple of years, Dom's like, oh, geez. Dom's like, I forgot about this.
No. I think you're absolutely right here. You need to be realistic. You need to accept where you are. I had the same argument in a different sport about the other team for sports. Like, you have to be honest and realistic. You know, my team massively overachieved this year on what I thought it might do early doors. And everyone's going, it's a disaster. It's not a disaster. We just overachieved. Like, you're optimistic about it, and you would have hoped for more by where we were. But you're optimistic. You've got to be realistic, and you've got to say we're not in a good spot. We've got no cap room, no cap space to build a roster. So We've got a below average roster. We've got a first time head coach. We've got new coordinators, one experience.
Well, one new coordinator.
Right. Well, two new coordinators to the team, but I mean one experience, one
who actually has experience in the NFL.
Yeah, exactly.
As a coordinator.
As a coordinator, and we're coming off yet another poor season with a quarterback going into year 4 that we still. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure I do, but in theory, that we are still assessing because it's going to be an assessment year again for him. I think we know the answer, and that you have to be realistic about it. The optimism comes in with. Do you believe in this coaching staff? Yes, of course. Do I believe in the back room? Yes, I do. And that's the optimism. The optimism is that this season's going to be hard, but we are going to get better in the next 2-3 years. That's where my optimism comes in. And that's the difference. You can be optimistic and realistic at the same time.
I agree. Tommy for one, Tommy, he definitely is hesitant. You know what they say? He who hesitates masturbates. Just going to break that out for you. No, JC is not coming to the Giants.
Very strong right hand.
Stop a bullet. JC
America.
JC is not coming. He's like the Shield. JC is not coming to the Giants. Hertz real. Of course, the DJ is a first grade guy. He's a Duke grad. They don't proofread anything. I don't know about that. All together, and this is a sound effect that we need. It's never DJ's fault. Oh my goodness. It's never DJ's fault. It's never. You know what's funny? Because again, media controlled by the Giants. The first play of the 11-on-11 drills, Darius Slayton makes a. Do you hear Daniel Jones drops the pass to Darius Slayton. And then as you read a little bit more into it, it says Darius Slayton caught the ball off a deflection. I was like, it's okay if he sucks.
It was a perfect throw. I mean, I haven't seen the play, and for all I know, it was a brilliant piece of defensive play. But I doubt if it's deflected, it's unlikely to have been.
It's not likely. It's a beautiful defense.
It's more likely that it was a poor throw.
Eli let things go crazy. Let's talk so bad about Eli, but his playoff numbers and Super Bowls. You're crazy. He wouldn't turn it over, but once he had it, and he drives high completion rate. Okay. Eli, you know what? You know what the thing was about Eli? Eli could throw 3 interceptions, get down to the last 2 minutes, be down by 6, and drive the team 80 yards for a touchdown for the win. He did it multitudes of times.
You've said it before. You had confidence in him as fans.
Yep.
That he would do it, and the team had confidence in him. And that comes from years of having done it, right? You know, and the belief in seeing it in training, seeing it in matches. But he had that ability. He was ice cold.
He was cold as ice, man. He iced water running through his veins. Jake wants to know, do you think Shepard will have more snaps on the outside or his natural position in the slot? Well, first of all, he's got to come back from that Achilles. That's his first problem. Second of all, he's gonna have to compete with Kadarius Toney and Wan'Dale Robinson in the slot. So more than likely, he's gonna find himself out on the outside, out on the edge.
I think that likely, right? You know, you default with the draft picks and the youth of those two. They're the slot receivers, so it would force Shepard to the outside on what is almost certainly his last year with the team. So why would you potentially limit the development of those two.
Yeah, I agree. Zach says, "What's up, guys? Listening to you guys from Seaside before I go to work. You at Seaside Heights, man? I love Seaside Heights. I was in Dom. It's called the Shore when you're in Jersey. You don't go to the beach, you go to the shore. So I used to go to the shore all the time. I lived in Jersey forever. Jones always looks at Shepard as his check down to Saquon. Everyone else is irrelevant to him, apparently.
That's what we were saying, right? He's looking for his first read every time, and when it's not there, it's
Robinson will be the key to the offense. He's always creates separation. That's not actually true. If everyone likes to talk about the big pass that he had in the end zone against Aaron Robinson, where he stretched out, did a little pirouette to catch the ball. There was no separation. It was a bad throw. Bang bang, Pachi. What? My wife
bang
said,
bang. Are you watching Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, or are you watching something X-rated?
Chitty,
Also,
bang,
how do we know what Robinson is? Right?
We don't know.
I'm not saying he's going to be bad.
We don't know what either of the Robinsons are. We don't know what the Swiss Family Robinsons are.
No, but in fairness to Mrs. Robinson and the one that was stuck on a desert island.
Here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Sorry, I'm having dinner. I'm having sushi tonight.
Oh, very nice.
I'm very excited about that too. Mr. Gigante says, what is the biggest change Dable can implement in this offense that would limit DJ's being exposed? Short, concise passing with a heavy dose of Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
And then occasionally take a shot.
Reader to spot him.
You have to play situational football with Daniel Jones. And what that basically means is you have to, I know he says, I want to turn him loose. I want to let the mongoose loose. I want to let it fly, but you need to let it fly at the opportune time. There's a difference between being reckless and being smart with the football in regards to taking your shots deep. You have to know your football situations.
I'm being very simplistic in this, but almost like the Seattle game we won a couple of years back. I think it was it Glennon throwing for us that day in Seattle?
Oh no,
where we literally took two. It was McCoy. It wasn't Glennon. I thought Glennon winning a game seemed a bit
odd.
Seemed a bit odd. McCoy. That was it. I was thinking about McCoy at 3 a.m. this morning. Don't ask me why.
Get some problems if you think I'm called McCoy at 3 a.m. in the morning.
I know I had nothing better to do.
You really had nothing better to do then.
But in all seriousness, I mean, it's that sort of thing, isn't it? Where you're not letting it fly, but you create your chance. You bring that defense up, and then you let it fly. Well, and that's what he's got to do. And from Daniel Jones' point of view,
great point about the Seattle game. Great point about the Seattle game. The Giants pounded the ball the first half in Seattle. Pounded the ball. And I even said, and I said it on the stream, and I said it after the video. First thing I said to people was they're going to take a shot deep in the start of the third quarter because they've been setting it up all game. The first half, they set it up that first half. And that's exactly what they did when they scored that touchdown. What do I want? I don't know. What did we have last time? Did you know I'm working? Supposedly the Giants.
It's always hard work when you're with me.
It is. Supposedly the Giants are thinking of doing RPO style offense that I don't trust. Jones outside the pocket for this. I don't see them doing an RPO. They may, but I just don't see that being their quarterback.
Here's a question for you actually on that. Because we don't fully know what Dave was going to run. The assumption is
we have no idea.
Something similar to Buffalo. But we haven't got a quarterback in Jones, assuming he starts, that can play that way in my mind. So do you think that Dable looks to run the offense he wants to run to get other players acclimatized to that one, but not necessarily suit his quarterback? Or does he run an offense that suits his quarterback? Well, I mean, what do you think he's going to do out of those two options?
I've said this before, and I said this about Wink's defense. Wink is going to run his defense.
Yeah.
Whether he has the components to run it, he is going to run his defense because you go with what got you there. You go with what made you successful. This is what made him successful, not last year in Baltimore, but made him successful in 2020, 19, and 2018. But he had different components because he had the components to run. It's like if you go back to the 85 Bears who ran the 46 zone. If they didn't have McMichael, if they didn't have Dent, they didn't have Wilbur Marshall, they didn't have all those Mike Singletary. If they didn't have the right players to run that defense, there was no way they could run it. When Buddy Ryan then tried to take the 46 and run it in Philadelphia, he had the components. But then when he went over to the Oilers, he did not have the players. He still tried to run the same defense, and it failed.
I think with Wink, he's got players that he thinks either can run it or will potentially be able to run it. But he is missing cornerbacks, for instance, that to really sort of.
He doesn't have the Marcus Peters. He doesn't have the other guy.
And there's question marks at safety as well, not necessarily with McKinney, but potentially with the others. We don't know. So, but I think you're right. He's going to play it, and he's going to see what he's got, and he's going to see who can play it, who can't, so that we can move on the ones that can't, and we'll bring in players that he hopes will be able to. So I think that's absolutely right. I think it would be really interesting though with Gable, and again to re-ask you the question: how do you think he's going to run it, to suit Jones or to suit what he wants to do?
I think he's going to try to run it. You don't go out and get Tyrod Taylor if you're not going to run a similar offense that you ran in Buffalo. You don't. Because the fact that I've said this a million times, I'm going to say it till the cows come home. You have to, your backup quarterback should mirror your starting quarterback. Only because of the fact that you can't change offensive philosophies.
All of a sudden, Baltimore there too, right?
Right.
Lamar and I can't remember the kid's name. I was trying to remember it at 3:30 a.m. this morning. But the backup. No, he's Arizona's backup, isn't he? Ravens. I was talking about.
Yeah, he's still in Baltimore. Lamar's backup. I can't remember.
Colt McCoy's in Arizona, isn't he? I can't remember the Ravens.
Yes, Colt McCoy is in Arizona, but for the Ravens, I can't remember. I can't remember
the kid's name. Everyone was saying we should trade for him last year, but I always felt that he was designed for the Baltimore system, not our system, and therefore it wasn't the right call. But yeah, I mean, I agree. I think the most telling thing about Daniel Jones' future before the fifth-year option, before anything they were saying, was Tyrod Taylor was the backup quarterback that we brought in. That was the death knell for Daniel Jones, in my view, because the two are not compatible.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Jay says, I don't see Jones having the will to win like Eli. When you're down and you keep bringing us back game after game. Eli did that. Eli would be down and he would just keep coming back. Eli was like a bad penny that you're trying to get rid of. He really was, because he reached that point. He reached that crunch time, and that's all he would do. I'm not trying to knock Daniel Jones, but there's been a couple times we're looking at 2 minutes left or 1:40 left. The Giants have the ball with an opportunity to win with Daniel Jones, and he doesn't come through in the clutch. He'll come through once in a while, which he did, but Eli at one point in time had the most comeback wins in the NFL. Because of the fact that that's just what Eli did. He had that gunslinger mentality, which was built from Kevin Gilbride when he was his rookie season for a bunch of years, that made him a gunslinger. And so he just had that mentality that I'm just going to keep chucking the ball, hell or high water, and see what happens. But he had the ability to come back and not look like a deer lost in the headlights.
I mean, the question marks over Jones's mentality really come from the fact that the organization wants to protect Daniel Jones at all costs. Now, there's two ways of looking at it. Either he's he's mentally fragile, and therefore he needs that, or secondly, it's ownership or whoever wanting to say, "Hey, we made a great pick. Don't question the pick. This is a great pick," and protecting making themselves feel better about the pick. But I think. So I don't know if it's mentality. I think there's an element of talent here, and I think there's an element with Eli that he always believed in himself, and I don't necessarily think Daniel Jones does. But also, as he started to win and come back with games more, it builds a self-fulfilling prophecy where you've got more and more to go on, and more to build yourself and believe yourself, and it becomes an issue for the defense on the other side, where they're like, "Oh God, he's done this 50 times before. He's going to do it again," and suddenly you start to play with that on your mind, and it can be a real game changer. Not that momentum is a thing in football. Obviously, we all know this, but
nothing happens.
But I think there's two things there, and I think the Manning Jones comparison is possibly a little unfair on Jones because Manning had far more talent than Jones, and that's not to knock Jones. Manning was a two-time Super Bowl winning quarterback, and not everyone can be that.
Top 10 in all statistical data.
He's going to be a Hall of Famer, right?
He should be a Hall of Famer. All right, I got a joke for you.
Oh God.
I got a joke for you. What's the difference between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New England Patriots?
One can win without Brady as quarterback.
Tom Brady was happy in Tampa.
That's what she said.
Hey-oh.
Oh, dear me.
Neil O'Brien says, with the Giants in-house media being the only ones that post anything about practices, are they the only posting the good things? Are they they're sugarcoating? I don't need to read the rest of the statements because I do say it can't all be sunshine and lollipops and rainbows and happy things. No, it can't all be that. You have bad plays. I can tell you firsthand, being on the field as a player, bad things happen in
It's practice. It's practice for a reason, right?
2 days. What's that?
It's practice for a reason. The idea of practice is to get better, so it's not going to go well first time. And it was the point I was going to finish off with earlier before you rudely interrupted.
I so missed that.
I called it. But what?
I bet he didn't call that one.
I should have seen that one coming.
Go ahead.
But the point I was making was you've got Gable and Shane talking down things for the season rightly, and then you've got the in-house media controlling the narrative, which is look how great we are. And the two things aren't necessarily comparable, and that's where the potential issues comes in. But sensible Giants fans should look at it for exactly as it is. It is the in-house media, and it's only going to promote the good.
It's going to only promote the good. You promote the good. OJR says, I need to step out. Tim, Dom need to talk about Premier League someday. I need to pick your Brian on some things. Tim, good stuff. I must go coach the little ones in soccer.
Well, best of luck. My boys did me proud a couple of weeks ago, actually. OGR, happy to talk any time, and also looking forward to the next pod. And I can never take it seriously, having misheard one of the first lines of the first episode of a podcast. So it makes me laugh every time I see it. But looking forward to you recording your next one.
That's gonna be coming up. Let's see, what's her name? Patricia Tana? I never want to say her name. Said to her, seeing what who is she?
I've heard of her before. She's a beat writer, but I can't think who for.
Okay. The offense will go through Saquon being used everywhere. Well, the problem with that, and there's not a problem with that, just the fact that she's only there 1 day a week. Yes, Mia, what happened?
Forgot there was a drawer under the desk. You know the knuckle bit on the bit that sticks out on your wrist. I caught that.
Oh yeah, I burned my finger today. I don't know if you can see it. I burned.
You're looking a tad red.
Yeah, no, it's more than a tad red. I grabbed the bottom of a grill that I didn't think was hot.
That was daft.
Well, the best part was I grabbed it again a second later to try to move it. And my wife goes, "What's that smell?" It's just burning flesh. Derek Ramirez says,
my finger will be ready in 2 to 3 minutes.
It's all right. It's all right. I got a high tolerance for pain. You can be optimistic game by game and hope for the best, but being realistic about some of the team's limitations allow you to understand what to truly expect. I wish I had like a button. I need a button for like when something's like an awesome comment.
You wouldn't need it for me, but Derek's nailed it.
Here we go. Derek! Great comment. And it's true. Mr. Roberts says, I hate the fact that Jones is the only option at quarterback because were so scared to look stupid for picking a bum at 6. I don't think this regime cares that Daniel Jones was picked 6 overall. I think they're done with that. I don't think they're worried about that anymore. Let's see. RF, what do you have to say regarding DJ and letting it loose? They choose DJ because he's an Eli clone in personality. I don't see that. Eli would not let it loose unless his coaches. No, that's wrong too. Told him to. Eli played with the system and no, sorry. Sorry, that whole post is wrong. 2004 through 2007, Eli was told to let it fly by Kevin Gilbride. A lot of the interceptions that Eli had early in his career that people like to pin on him were because of the fact that Gilbride liked to throw the ball deep. And he would tell Eli, hell or high water, just throw it. He created matchups so that he would hope would create big plays, but he did it situationally.
One more time.
Situationally. I like saying situationally. Sorry, RF. You're 100% wrong on that comment. Dom, how do you feel about Julian Love?
I mean, he's not normally my type, but
that's what she said.
I think he's an interesting year. I mean, it'd be very interesting to see where he plays. I think he will probably play, I don't know. I mean, I don't think he's in long term. I think he's going to have to stay this year. But it wouldn't shock me if he was cut. But I think he'll make the roster, and I think he'll play a similar role to what he played last year on Patrick.
Well, last year he went to the bench.
Well, yeah, but I mean, when he was playing, and I know he got benched last year, but I think he'll probably play similar.
He doesn't have the similar role. Ended up on the bench. I mean, that's the role we want him to
really
have.
I really don't want to see him on the outside. I don't think he suits to it, but we'll see. I think he will play. He'll be a backup for several positions and will come in where needed. But I don't see
which we're gonna need him for. Jones is an Eli clone in personality only. Skill level, Eli was elite in comparison to Jones. Disagree with that. Zach says, I work at the amusement park in Seaside Heights. Oh, yeah, I've been there. Well, no, it got wrecked because of the hurricane, and then it's back again. But Hirschfield says, is Lovely House stuck on a desert island? Yeah, Strawberry. Where's Strawberry? We have to find her. I never understood Gilligan. Never understood Gilligan in them.
Never read it, so.
You never saw Gilligan's Island?
No, never saw it.
7 people shipwreck on an island for like 30 years or how long. You got the movie. You got a hot redhead movie star. You got a farm girl from Kansas, and they never have any babies.
No, yeah, amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, they're there for like 47 years. You figured they would have a tribe. But let's go.
PG version. Clearly, we ended up having to do Hardy and Bronte sisters and all that rubbish when we that sounds far more fun.
Now watch this. Tommy for one told me if you watched a college film, you would know Rob. Oh, there you go. Sorry, Tommy for one told me we don't watch college film in the pros. You don't run against the same guys. Sorry, we don't watch what you did in college as soon as you come into the league.
We had a row on this one, and I in some ways I've always said that college matters, and I don't mean stats, and I don't mean what it is, but you're talking about your technique and how you are. So I think those sorts
college
of things
technique doesn't translate.
But we disagreed on that one. But where we do agree is that stats don't matter, and if you get separated in college, it doesn't matter because you're not against the best unless you're doing consistently.
I am going to say this a million times. Even the best players on something like a team like Georgia. Even the second level players who are starters at Georgia, 60% of them aren't going to make it in the league.
Yeah.
More than half of college roster. You could take the national championship team, and I would say 70% of that roster is not going to be in the league.
Because it's lined up with the best talent.
So exactly.
But I mean, we disagree. But I'm talking techniques and whether some of that transfer. But I would also bow to your judgment on that because you played the game.
I was like, oh, I played in college.
Exactly that, right? And you've watched far more of the game than I have. But you're exactly right. It doesn't matter in terms of if you got separated in college. Doesn't matter because
doesn't matter in the pros. It doesn't matter.
You're playing against completely different level talent.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You a lot of time you're playing the all insurance underwriter adjuster team. Doesn't matter anymore. What you did in the pros, and that's why, it's funny. And I want to get on this topic because guys, a lot of great questions here. I don't want to get on topic too much. And again, I got a topic again. People saying, because I did the film study for the Giants, they're like, well, why don't you do breakdown of college film? And I've said this a million times. What you've done in college does not translate into the pros. There's no reason to.
The other thing you've always said as well is you don't know what play's being called, right?
You don't know what plays being called. You don't know what formation's being called. You don't understand the talent level. You could be playing against a team that their third or their starting corner may be the sixth best starting corner on your team or corner on your team. You don't know. It doesn't translate. There's no transition. People that break down college film, I will say it, are lazy because they're trying to create things on Twitter or Instagram, YouTube, wherever that makes them look so damn smart. When they don't know anything, they're going to break down this film. And I can't remember who said it, that they overhype the obvious. Stop.
I held it together for as long as I could.
I always love it because
I finally brought it up because I knew you were going to.
I was in the gym today. I was actually talking to James Williams in the gym, and I was in the gym today, and I was saying something to somebody, and someone looked at me and said, "You only say that because you're big." I'm like, "Damn straight." Like if I was Dom's side, I probably wouldn't say half the shit I say.
Nope. Nope. I mean, one of my other coaches is a bit more loudmouth than I am. He was like, "Why don't you do this?" Like, Andy, mate, you're 6 foot and built like a brick shithouse. I'm 5'1" and weigh I weigh about 8 stone. Literally, if I said what you just said to that person, I'm not going to see the rest of this week because I'm going to be laid out in a hospital.
Yeah, that's what people always say to me. He said, "You only run your mouth because you're big." No shit. if I was small, I probably wouldn't run my mouth.
Yeah, I can run my mouth because I'm several hundred miles away from you.
Yeah, exactly. Tell me Robinson. I don't want to read that comment. That was a dumb comment. Jay
I saw it. I was like, "Oh, I'm going to see how far I get through that one."
Jay said, "Do you see a formation that has Barkley, Tony, Robinson, Jones in the backfield?" Yes, I do. I do see a formation. You don't want to go. You don't want to go old wishbone. You don't want. But I could see them running some type of formation where yes, they have all three in the backfield. I can see that.
I'm gonna call that lineup the Baldrick formation. And for those of you who don't know, Tony Robinson was Baldrick in a British comedy. So it took me a second to work out that that's that you were talking about Kadarius Toney and not him.
Jay wants to know, do you think Gable will limit Jones to 2 to 3 reads? I'll let you answer first.
It's difficult to know because you don't know what he's going to run. I think he has got to find a way to release the ball quicker and not hang on to it. And he's got to find a way of processing the field quicker. I think
that's the key.
And that's going to be the key. So I don't necessarily think it matters how many reads he needs. It's how quickly can he go through them. Because if you can go through 5 reads before the defensive player gets there, that's fine. Right. It's the speed of which he's processing it that matters. And that might be, look, the clock in your head stops when you get to 3 reads until you can learn to do it quicker. But that should be for practice, not games, until he can learn to read it quicker. If
Mike Lee says, moo. Tony, Dable's going to hand it off to Barkley. Yeah, I think it's going to be Barkley left, Barkley right. And I think they're going to bring in, what's his name? Matt. Have him run a couple times, throw a couple quick outs, couple quick patterns, nothing crazy.
Yeah, couple on the, couple of short ones here and there. Yeah, I know. Couple of screen passes, couple of short ones, and on the slot to Kadarius or Robinson. It's going to be short plays in the hope to set up the long play, I would imagine.
I think so too. It's Tyler Huntley.
Yeah. Thanks, Travis. I could not remember his name for love nor money.
James Williams says, hit the like button. We're only at 30 likes, 47 minutes in. We need at least 50 likes. James says, Don Juan, where the hell have you been?
James, how are you? All good. It's been a while, but glad to be back.
Oh my God. What's good, James? What's up, room? What is this? Ramsey Bottom for GOAT. Who's Ramsey Bottom?
Are you talking about Game of Thrones and Ramsey Bolton, I think, from Game of Thrones, but I'm not quite sure what that refers to.
I've never seen it. Let's see. Jones has poor leadership, coaching, play calling at the top, and that's whatever. I'm not going to go there. Wink, I've learned the last year without good CBS. His scheme was flawed. He learned it. If no good secondary, no good pass rush will help hide weaknesses, see the Giants to last 2 Super Bowl wins. But my thing is this, like I said, I still see, I don't know if Dable's going to do this, but I'm going to say this a million times. I still see Wink being brash enough to sit there and think.
What's your assignment? Kill the quarterback. Hit the tight end so hard his girlfriend dies. Kill everybody.
That he is going to attack.
I still love that.
Come hell or high water, he is going to attack. You have to love.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Which was the wrong button.
Draft, baby. Yeah.
There we go. Still never got rid of it. I still think he's gonna throw caution on the wind. He's gonna go hell to high water. He's just gonna do what he wants to do, and let the chips fall where they may. And I think the chips are gonna fall all over the place, which is fine though, because you're building something. You're not expecting to win this year.
It's like we said at the start, it's not a write-off in terms of the player development. It's a write-off in terms of the results. So why not? See what you've got. Who can play his system? Who can't? Let's find out.
Mr. Gigante says, I don't see Dable running the same style offense around Buffalo. He will pick spots for Daniel Jones to let it loose versus what he's seen. I do think that Dable is going to run a different style than he ran. As much as people want to talk about Daniel Jones being Josh Allen, I don't see it.
You can't run Buffalo because you don't have Josh Allen. It's as simple as that.
Right. Dom, 316.
Is that the code red? Did you order the code red?
No, I didn't order the code red. Did you order the code red? Wait a minute. Did I? Wait a minute. I know where that is.
Who? Did you order the code red?
I did the job. Did you order the code red? You're goddamn right I did.
I did not dismiss you. Sit down.
It's a good movie. The Super Bowl runs were amazing. Eli definitely played a great ball in those games. He played a great playoff run. People can't remember that. James says Daniel Jones is equivalent of a blind date that you don't want to go on, but you don't want to be rude either. I wouldn't go. Or I guess I'm rude. So you're either trying to make it to the end of the movie before you ditch her.
In fairness to John Mara, though, he is hoping that he's going to make second base before the end of the season.
My question is, what movie though? Because
any given Sunday,
that might be a catalyst.
Gotta get to work.
Oh,
That's right.
we miss him. He's tightening it up with the Titans.
Come on. My name is Willie.
But Willie Beeman will always be in our mind. They're talking about starting him. Can you believe that? Old man has a great radio voice. Thank you. I already know that, Captain Matumbo. Lombardi. That magic still lingers on the name. The jewels in the ice and the snow.
in fairness, he's got a face for radio as well.
I do have a face for radio. But I got a body for everything else. Sorry. You wanted to come back and do this. You wanted to come back and do this.
It's fun. It's fun.
Not me. You did, not me. Great analogy, James. What does Christian have to say? Do you think McFadden or Beavers can beat out? Oh, yeah. I think they can. I think either one of them might have a chance to beat out Crowder. The problem with Crowder is he's an undersized middle linebacker. And his speed is limited. And so are his coverage skills.
This regime has no loyalty to him.
I've said this before, and I've said this a million times. Some on a bad team, and I can attest to this. On a bad team, somebody has to make the tackles. And it's not a knock against Tate Crowder. Well, it kind of is. But you have to see what he does with a quality roster. I think he would be like the sixth linebacker on like a playoff team.
Yeah, he's well down the roster. He gets to play on bad teams, and again, as you said, I said it earlier about Daniel Jones. He can make a career in the NFL. Being on bad teams and being a roster filler. But hey, he could have a 10-year career in the NFL doing that. Yeah. And do you know what? It's better than millions of people who would kill for a career.
Exactly.
But I think that this regime has no ties to him whatsoever, and I wouldn't be shocked to see McFadden.
I wouldn't be shocked if they got rid of him
to make it and Crowder to be cut.
Right. Stanley says
he can be Sham Crowder.
He could be he could be Clam
Crowder. Yeah.
Clam Chowder. What the hell, Sam?
Do you know what? If I hadn't cocked it up, that might have been a passable joke.
Not really.
I said passable.
Stanley
although we don't know what that is anymore because we can't pass for.
Stanley says, "Hey Tim, how you see how Wandale Robinson is impressed at OTAs? I told you Wandale is the best pickup of the draft." And then I love it because then I see this one. Make a noise for a bad post. I'm making noise for a bad post. Wah, wah. He's got to do something in the season. Oh my God!
Don't care about OTAs. Really don't
care about minicamp, which is coming up, which is mandatory when he's going to be going against all the veterans.
I care about minicamp because it's my kind of size people.
I was going to say you only thought that because you thought short people were going to camp.
Yeah, I thought I might be tall for once. But then I
McFadden,
realized
Beavers,
I mean,
Fox in the backfield. No. Let's see. What does Neil have to say here? My point kind of was it's easier to believe the good things if you put the bad things out as well. Yeah, you know what, Neil, that's actually a great point. And even though we're way behind on the chat, that's a great point. It's you know what makes the good things look even more impressive? When you show the bad things. He's right. It's actually an excellent point.
yeah, I was taking the mick out of the Patriots earlier, but actually, you can, if they go out and show a whole load of good things, you can believe. To Neil's point, and he's absolutely right. You believe it because you've heard they've had a bad day. Every team has a bad day at practice, a bad play at practice.
Exactly.
Spot on.
Our FFD says poor wording on my part. Eli would play how the coaches wanted him to play. He wanted to. Jones does the same. Sherman, Judge. Yeah, that's the thing about Jones. That's the thing about Eli though. Eli ran the offense that was dictated by Kevin Gilbride. And Kevin Gilbride's early on offense with Eli Manning was to go deep, and especially when they got plex. Then it was take your shot. We have 34 likes. You'll no longer hear the Melonious voice if I don't get 50 likes. So you'll have to listen to Dom talk.
Right, and if ever you need an incentive to get to 50, that was it.
That was it. Captain, OTAs are not even preseason. I will trust the Giant players that will show their worth on the field in the regular season. I'm trying to make sure not to fall into the in-house media hype again. Very smart, Mr. Alvarez. Very smart. That's exactly the way you need to look at it. That's exactly how you have to look at it. That's the right perspective.
It's PR.
It's PR. It's PR. August 21st, Giant Stadium parking lot, Verizon, Red Lot. We're having a meet and greet. Come out and see me. I'm gonna be sitting there. sitting there doing this to people. James Williams is gonna come with me. James is going with me. I already talked to him about it.
That's assuming we haven't burned it down by then.
See if they let me in the parking lot. The one position that we're weakest at quarterback, there's no competition. I don't know if there's no competition at quarterback.
I think Tyrod Taylor will at some point beat out Daniel Jones during the season.
I've already said I think Tyrod Taylor starts week 6.
I'm not sure. I'm not shocked if he starts week 1.
I would be shocked.
I still want to see what happens when Daniel Jones. I don't mean this meanly. Until I see Daniel Jones take hits and see how that neck fares up, I'm still not convinced until I see how it holds up. And I could see that neck jarring. The neck is not an area where you want an issue, and a big issue, and he clearly had one. So until I can see him do that, I wouldn't be shocked. I don't see him starting if he's healthy. I think Jones healthy will start week 1, but I wouldn't be shocked to see Tyrod Taylor under center in week 1. But Jones won't play all 17.
Tell me for one time I'm going to wreck this comment in a bunch of different words. You have to see how they played in college. Really, Ryan Leaf. How did he play in college? Rick Meyer. How did he play in college? Akiwi Smith. How did he play in college?
Shout me when you want me to stop.
Shall I continue of all the people that were wonderful in college that sucked in the pros? Doesn't matter. It no longer matters.
And vice versa, right?
Yeah. Yeah. There's plenty of people that had poor college careers, to Don's point, that excelled in the pros. Listen, James says, listen, man, DJ is not, I repeat, not going to be our quarterback this year. So let's just take a shot, have a beer, and get through this year. James and I. Red Lot, Verizon Center, front row. You'll trust me. You'll see me. Trust me. You'll know it's me.
Dear Lord.
You'll know it's me. Dom, do you know British UFOs researchers Phil Mantle or the I don't want to talk about that.
I'm gonna quickly address it.
No, I don't want to talk about that. Don't want to talk about that. I'm talking Giants.
No, I was just
a 14-minute highlight video.
I don't know everyone in Britain, right?
For the primary read, didn't matter if there was a pass rush or not. You know what I love about Daniel Jones lovers? I don't want to make this a Daniel Jones show, but you know what I love about Daniel Jones lovers now? People that just have nothing bad to say about him. You know what game they always point to as his pinnacle?
The Bucs game in his first season.
Bucs game, his first year, his first game. I always have to hear about the Bucs game.
I would. Do you know what? If I wanted to, I would say the Saints game last year. if possibly it would be the one I'd be pointing to, because they had film on him and he didn't do a bad job at all. But I mean, there's a very limited number of games where you can look at and say, hey, didn't Jones play well?
Right. Exactly.
That phrase is trademark, not to use the outside position of Ricky Bobby.
There you go. Down, I trademarked it for you.
Make the bet.
Shut up. Shut up.
I'm going to send you some labels.
Oh, yeah. We haven't done it in a while, and it's time. It's time to head down the Poppycockers. If you're looking to get your poppycock, there's no better place to go than Poppycockers. #1 adult entertainment in the West End. Tom is there always for 2-for-1 troll night. Remember, stop in at the Poppycockers. Haven't done that in a while.
Poppycockers is rocking tonight.
It's
ahead of a Jubilee. We got a Queen tribute band.
A Queen tribute band. I remember this, James. Someone in the chat bet me a Poppycockers hoodie the DJ would prove himself this year. Don't run when it's time to pay up. I can't remember who that was, James, but I do remember the bet. And I think it was on this stream, actually.
It was on this stream. I remember the bet as well. Yeah. It was a couple of weeks before the draft.
Yeah, and I can't remember who it was. Hirsch for Real says, having DJ as a quarterback is like having an arranged marriage. They're doomed to fail. I don't know. I can't say that because I've never had an arranged marriage. Dumb.
I mean, as far as I'm aware, arranged marriages don't necessarily fail, but it's certainly not a situation I'd want to be in. But yeah, it's over after this year. Let's be real.
Do you think it's over this year?
At the end of this year, yeah, I think it's the end for Jones. I mean, it should be. I just don't see a world where he balls out. And if it's not, then it's Mara still running this team.
Do you really think it's over?
Yeah, I do. I think it's the end of for Jones at the end of this year. I really do. I don't think he's a New York Giant beyond the end of this season.
Oh my goodness. What is this?
I might cry if I'm wrong on that one.
I would say you might cry. Robinson's
good. No, I'd say that. Look, I just want to clarify that. Unless he really does ball out and really does show. But again, you've got the Leonard Williams situation. 1 out of 4.
1 out of 4. Herbert was great in college as a rookie. Watson was great in college as a rookie.
Great. Brilliant. Well done, them.
Great. Steve Edman, Kenan Smith, Terry Baker. Shall we continue? David Carr.
Do you want to get to
Morris 10? Russell.
Do you want to get to 10? And then if this comes back, you can do another 10.
How many people do you want me to go over? You can go through Kajana Carter. I understand Kajana got hurt. You can go through. I could probably name 1,000 guys who were wonderful in college.
Yeah, look, we're not saying here though that Robinson's going to be sucky, right? We're not saying we just don't know.
But we're just saying let the kid have a chance.
It's about what we said about Bellinger earlier, right?
Right. Let the kid get a shot. Let him, because what's going to happen is you have these unrealistic fans with all these built up expectations that are going to turn around the first time he drops a pass and be like, well, he sucks. It's like, well, what happened to all the good? And I've said this before. It's like Daniel Jones. I will admit and I've said this a million times, and this is why it pisses me off about people. I've said this a million times, though. I think we only win if Daniel Jones plays well. We only win more games if he plays well. Yeah. If he plays poorly, we're going to lose even more. I've said this a million times. And people are like, well, you hate Daniel Jones. No, I'm just honest about it. And if you cannot look in the mirror and be honest with yourself about what you've seen the last 3 years, there's a problem.
We've said it a million times on this show, and James said it, OGR said it, lots of Bad Dog said it, whoever you want. No one wants Daniel Jones to fail. The reality is we've seen what he's done in the last 3 years, and it's not great. And we have to be honest and realistic about that. No one wants him to fail. The kid's a nice kid, right?
Right.
He loves his mama. He hands out Christmas presents to the kids, but it doesn't make him an elite quarterback.
Right. And that's the problem. You know what the biggest problem is, Dom?
Biggest problem is I misread this line on the thing and thought, good evening. When it says good evening, gentlemen, I actually thought it said good evening, gentlemen. I thought, what is Tyrone on? But I was being misreading it.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this right now because this is 100% true. If Daniel Jones plays well like he did in the New Orleans game,
in the Bucs game,
in the Bucs game, but in the New Orleans game, he played well. I acknowledge that he played well. I gave him kudos for playing well. I said how wonderful he looked. And then all I said was, okay, translate that into 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks in a row. Not to 400 plus yards, but play well for an extended period of time. And then I will believe. But I'm gonna tell you this right now. If Daniel Jones rolls off 7 great games, I'll be the first one to admit I'm wrong. If Daniel Jones throws up 7 stinkers, all the people that kiss his picture at night and tuck it under this pillow and think, Daniel Jones, I love you so much, they'll never admit that anything that he did was wrong.
It'll still be, he's got a new coaching staff. The O-line's still betting in. And all that will probably be true, but he's also in his 4th season and there is limited progression and I potentially being generous. But there are some progressions, but I think that was partly because of the restrictions. I've said it before. The restrictions on the way we were looking to play were designed to limit the issues he had.
Right. Tyrone says, I can run my mouth because I'm a bad mofo.
Am I the meanest? Sure. Am I the prettiest? Sure enough. Am I the baddest mofo low down around this time? Sure enough.
I agree with you, Tyrone.
Yeah, and please don't come and beat me up because I misread what you put before and thought you said Gettleman.
Yeah, I know. That's what I saw. That one. I was like, let me run into that one. First reel said Herman College was like Michael Jordan in college. College coach was the only person holding him back. He also had 3 offensive coordinators in 3 years in college and still played well enough to get drafted in the first round.
Herbert or Jordan? Yeah.
Herbert.
I was wrong on Herbert. I don't like talking about Herbert anymore.
I wasn't.
Oh, dear.
It's tough being awesome. It's not easy being me.
I can imagine. It's not easy being your wife, I imagine.
Oh, God, no. How the hell she puts up with me? I always joke that they need to build a statue of me because I'm so awesome. They should build a statue of my wife because she's got to put up with my crap. Because you know what? I love it because
Well, I hope so. She's your wife.
I love it. I love it though because people are like, you're just doing a persona when you're doing these streams. It's not really you. You're doing a persona. And I've met people offline, people that watch the streams, and they're like, after a period of time, like, oh my God, you're fucking like this in real life. This is not an act. This is really you. And I think Dom can attest to that.
Yeah, I've never quite understood I've never quite understood having a persona unless you're playing a character or something.
Right.
Like that. But yeah, you should read some of the messages he sends me someday.
I was about to say
this is probably a tamed down version of you.
Tom, in all of his infinite wisdom today, told me he was in the hospital. And being Mr. Sensitive, I asked him if it was because he had menstrual cramps.
He did. And in fairness, I did.
See, that's why he was. I was right. I knew it. Hey, Lorenzo, what's up? Wandale is looking like he'd be a very big asset for our receivers. You think in the end, you know what it could be? If Wandale comes and plays well, I don't think it's going to be the end of Sterling Shepard this year, but I don't think he'll be back. I think that this will be the last season for Sterling Shepard if Wandale and Kadarius play up to expectations.
I think it could be end for Sterling either way, but yeah, Sterling's going to be with us this for the season, 100%. Yeah. Unless he gets IR'd out for the season because he has his injury flares up and ruptures it again.
J Sports Card says bring Odell home. I don't think Odell would want to come home. I wouldn't want to come here.
No, I think if I'm Odell, I want to go somewhere where I can actually win, right. And I want to go somewhere warm because I'm coming off a whole load of injuries, and the warm weather should, in theory, help to extend that career. Similar to Gronk, right, in Tampa. Want to go play somewhere warm that I can win. I know they're slightly different positions, but
I love this comment though because it's 100% right. Tim, you're right. When you get Dom excited, he stutters. He does. He does.
I like it very much.
Let's see. Low body for everything else. Is that why you only show your shoulders? Ugh. I got the guns, man. I got the guns. I don't want to brag. 24-inch pythons. I don't want to brag. I don't want to brag.
Yeah, 24mm pythons.
I was doing 60-pound curls today.
Where you go.
I was doing 60-pound curls today, and someone goes to me, "Wow."
Wait, I think 60 pounds is not much more than I weigh.
And they're like, "Wow, that's impressive." I'm like, "Thank you." And then he goes, "'Cause you're old."
Way to deflate your ego.
I was like, motherfucker. I was like, if you weren't young, I would hit you.
I mean, I'm almost as heavy as Wandale Robinson, to be fair.
You're almost as tall.
Yeah, almost. I'm 112 pounds.
225.
Literally double me. I had to do the conversion from British to American there. But,
That me. I weigh 490 kilograms.
Oh, I can't do kilograms.
I don't know. Fabian says, "Hey, Fabian, what's up, my friend?" Stanley says, "Hey, Tim, this giant teams are gonna have an explosive offense with Tony Robinson and Barkley. I think they can, but again, it's gonna be this thing. You need to get the ball to the playmakers."
And
watch my Darius Slayton video.
And two of them need to learn to run routes in a non-unique way.
That's true. Is there something completely awesome about hearing a guy with an English accent talk NFL football and actually know what he's talking about? Keep up the good work.
Where is this guy?
Where is this guy? Can I say, hello, love? I guess you're talking about me. Grab me some cheese and crackers or whatever you have over there.
Oh, dear me.
Oh, get my knickers in a bunch.
I want to know where Neil's from now.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's very kind of you.
Neil, that's a great comment, Neil. I love this one. Hey, if Dom puts on a few 10 pounds, he could be Robinson's backup since they're the same height.
Almost.
Oh, my goodness.
I'll bulk up. Don't worry. I'll bulk up.
Mr. Alvarez says 3 good games his rookie year were the only reason he had. Well, yes, we've said this before. We're not going to get into it again. If you subtract those 3 games, Dan Jones's rookie 19 season, he's then like 12 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. And then if you extrapolate that over 20 and 2021, it's almost eerily statistically similar. Just because people like to talk about stats, but when they talk about stats and they prove something different than they want to talk about, nobody wants to talk about stats anymore. Robinson is receiving a lot of hype. What is the best and worst case scenario? Well, first of all, Mike, it's best case scenario is it ain't my type of hype. You and me together. You look so good. You look so good. Ain't my kind of hype, baby. You and me together. The best case scenario that he gets, I'd say best case scenario, Dom, for Robinson, 700 yards receiving, 300 rushing, 6 touchdowns. Worst case scenario, he doesn't get on the field. He makes 0 impact. He has one Kadarius Toney type game like in Dallas, and we don't hear from him for the rest of the season.
I think that seems about right. What do you think his long-term ceiling is? Best and worst case. Let's say he.
Don't know.
At the end of season, it's the end of year 3.
Don't know. I haven't even gone into rookie training camp yet.
Yeah, it's very.
I haven't even gone into training camp yet. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it's a very good point. It was a dumb question.
Yeah.
Not my first.
It was a dumb question, but you know what? There are no stupid questions, only stupid people.
And I managed to do both in one go. So we don't want to.
Yeah, I really should label this.
I'm actually genuinely getting upset now. How long have I been out?
Okay, remember, there are no stupid questions, just stupid people.
Listen, I got the new computer set up. What the hell you want from me?
Yeah, you'd only had it 6 months.
I had it 2 months. James says, I'm at work and I gotta hear Daniel Jones still talk still. Come on, Tim and Dom. Hey, listen, we only go where the questions go. Go deep. That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Oh my God. Let's see here. All right, gotta go. Heading to the boardwalk. Have fun at the boardwalk, Zach. Undo the Emmanuel. What's going on, man? Hit that like button. Hit it, smash it, hit it with a hammer and bash it. Let's see here. The 3 herniated discs in my neck says if Daniel Jones suffers structural damage, he will have migraines after each game. I take your word for that because I've had a herniated disc, but I didn't have 3, and I got migraines for other reasons, getting knocked in the head 11 times. But
Mrs.
yeah.
Online Big Blue also has migraines for other reasons, but that has to do with you talking.
Yeah, that's had to do with being married to me. I'm curious because, like I said, we've yet to hear anything about. And like I said, I think it would. Oh, I gotta ban these people here. I think it would be better if the Giants would just come out and say he's cleared. What is the harm? Seriously, Dom, explain to me. What is the harm of coming out and saying right now, if the season would start today, Daniel Jones is cleared to play? What's the harm in saying that?
I mean, there's no harm because everyone expects him to be the starting quarterback for the New York Giants if he's
But
fit.
you never hear the Giants come out and say that if the season starts right now,
Exactly.
Daniel Jones is cleared to play.
Which goes back to my point earlier. I'm not shocked if Tyrod Taylor starts week 1 because I am not convinced until I see otherwise that Daniel Jones is fit to play. We see him in practice, etc. But he's not taking hits. He's got the red shirt on, and I know that's common for quarterbacks. But until I can see him in a game situation, then I'm not convinced. And I genuinely am concerned for Daniel Jones, not as a New York Giants starting quarterback, but as a human being with this neck injury. I really am.
I agree. And I think we overlook that sometimes. It's his life. It's not just about playing football. Big Blue Nation 411, hosted by Yaya. I can't wait until Daniel Jones shows off and the numbers prove my point. Numbers don't lie. Men do. No, numbers lie.
Believe me, I can do a heck of a lot with numbers. I can make.
I would say Dom can do a heck of a lot of numbers. Numbers lie. I've told this story before. I was a terrible baseball player. God awful. I could catch the ball, couldn't hit it. Maybe I have bad. I do have bad eyesight, but I couldn't hit it at all. I started out the season 3 for 4. A couple flares, a bloop single. And then I proceeded to go like 1 for 15 for the rest of the time. But I was still hitting 250 at the end of the day. Doesn't mean I was a 250 hitter. It just meant I had one good game. L says, CB2 Robinson could be holding his own. He looks competent and could overachieve. The thing with Robinson is this. We said there's a lot of completions thrown his way. One of the things that I like about Robinson a lot is even though there were a lot of completions thrown his way, he makes the tackle. And that's half the battle. He makes the tackle. He does not allow much on the yak.
I love yak.
I know, it's such a great word.
I mean, for me, I would go Robinson as my CB2 to start the season. Certainly, I think there's a risk. I think there will be plays and games where he will get badly burned, but I'd like to see what he can do. I really do. And then if we need to bring in a cheap vet to back him up and come in if he needs to come out. But I would go Robinson.
What about bringing in now? We don't have money to bring in a cheap vet because everyone wants to sign. But what about bringing in Jimmy Smith? Jimmy Smith played 4 or 5 years with the Winker.
He's like Webb.
He's not going to be a starter. He's not going to be. I don't think he's going to start competitively. But he is a guy that can come in and teach. He can mentor.
Yeah. Sort of like Webb in the quarterback room, except for cornerbacks, right? Yeah, I mean, I'm not against that. I mean, I know a lot of people say it's not the player's job to come in and coach the other players. Actually, I think it is as a vet. If I'm honest, I think you teach them how to be professional. You teach them how to play the game. You give advice, and I think, I mean, I've not seen a lot of him, but someone like that understands the system that isn't expecting to play. I think there's a place for them in every sports team. You need vets that can come in. Don't expect to play, but when they do come in, that don't let you down. So I mean, I wouldn't be against that move at all, or that type of move. And he'd be league minimum contract, you'd have thought.
Right. I think he's a 7+ year veteran, so I think it's like $1.6 million.
Yeah, I think that'd be a vet minimum, wouldn't it?
But it would be the veteran minimum, so it's like $1.6 million. Jones has to play better, way better. You're right. Yeah, I know I'm right. Yeah. The football awareness the new regime brought in will change it.
I don't know. You can teach football awareness, right?
You can't teach football awareness.
Here's a quick one. I was talking to a professional scout the other week, different game, but same principle. And he picked out two of my lads, or some of my lads that he wanted to look at again. Three of them, big, strong, technically
Now,
gifted.
Dom is talking about soccer.
I am.
I'm just talking about picking out lads and things. I'm just
No. Yeah, sorry, I am talking about soccer here.
Okay.
And then he picked another one, not as technically strong, not as big, not as strong. And I said, why that one? The other three are all in the same group. Why that one? He was like, because I can teach him how to improve his passing. I can teach him how to improve that. It is so much harder to teach him the awareness of where to be, the positional awareness and predicting what is going to happen next, not just once or twice, consistently. That is so hard to teach. When they have it, that is far better than anything else. And I and a different game, but very similar point. It is so hard to teach awareness. My brother is a much better football player than I ever was because he can read the game far better than I could.
And I've said this before, and I'm still always joking about it. The only thing that stopped me from going in the NFL was lack of talent and injuries. But I had awareness on the field. I did not have the physical wherewithal to get there positionally at times, but I knew where to be. Yeah. You can't teach that. That is a reactionary thing. That is something that is processing in your brain. Now, the best players have that awareness and the physical talent to make the play.
And some players can see it, but they can't see it when they're on the field. They can see it off the field, and they're the ones that go on to have great coaching careers.
Right.
And there's all sorts of different things, and that's the concern with Jones. It's not the talent; it's the awareness, and it's the same with other players. And not just at Giants, across the game. So you can teach it to a point, but you never become elite unless you have natural awareness.
Right. Right, exactly. Mrs. Online Blue is a saint for putting up with you. She is. I don't deny that, Mike. I know that. Dom makes a great point. Really? Where was I the last hour and a half?
I'm as shocked as anyone.
If Jones is still here,
I'm liking Neil. Can he come back?
Neil, you can come back anytime. Everybody knows if Jones is still here in 2023, it's only because the Mariners could not admit they were wrong and that they will be death of giant football. Yeah. I mean,
which I believe you. Then that was a great point.
I don't think he'll be a 2023. Well, with that being said, I'd rather he succeed than he fails. I would rather him succeed as well.
Of course, means we're winning games.
But the problem is this: when he fails, the people are not going to admit that he failed. That are the Daniel Jones apologists. I will admit I am wrong if he succeeds. But they're not going to admit that. To Dom's point, if he fails, it's always going to be something else.
To them, Daniel Jones won't fail. He will have been failed. And don't get me wrong.
I like that.
I got so I'm going to show.
Oh, wait, I got to find the cheering.
Stroke my ego.
Yeah, cheering. Dom got one right. Oh, that's what I should do for your son.
I have a giant ego.
That's me.
I know.
That's me. Hey, Tim. That's me.
You know what? I'm almost tempted to change you on my phone to giant ego.
Hey, Tim. Who do you got winning the NBA Finals? I got Boston in 6. If anyone cares. Dom with 24 millimeter pythons. Hiya, Tim and Dom. Hope you gents are having a blessed day. Hey, USO. What's going on, my friend? I'm having a good day. Dom's here.
I'm crying now.
It's all good, man. Dom's here. Don't diss the old man strength. That's true. He's. Oh my goodness. Let's see here. Stanley says, "Hey Tim, why Odell Beckham is still not signed by him because he's got a knee injury."
Knee injury, yeah.
Yeah, no one's gonna.
It'll be picked up.
I'm gonna tell you a reason why I think personally Odell's not signed. A, he's got the knee injury. B, he probably wants more money that people are willing to give him because of the knee injury. He was having a renaissance with the Rams.
He was playing marvelously well.
Yeah, and he was playing great in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think
he was arguably MVP of the Super Bowl until he went down.
Yeah. Read that quote because I got to check something here.
It says the Giants have football awareness to where the decision making, the play calling, the teaching, the right personnel, all of that is football awareness. I mean, do you want to take that or shall I?
No, you take that. I'm still checking something. Sorry.
Are you checking your dinner order?
Stock notification just came up.
Oh, are you much richer?
No.
No. Shock.
I'm going to say one word though for people that play the market and other things: diversification. Just gonna throw that out there.
There you go. Tim does a Dow Jones in one word.
Online Big Blue does not keep all of his money in a 401k. Does not even keep in a large portion of his money in a 401k for a reason. Because the stock market is too freaking crazy.
I mean, to this point, really, I mean, look, the coaches and coordinators will call the game plan based on the talent on the roster, based on the opposition, based on what they're seeing on the field and how teams are adjusting. You've got to hope they've got the awareness of it, but the players also have to have the awareness to make their plays, because the play will not be exactly as it's designed every single time. Things will happen. Players will move in different positions, either offensively or defensively, from where they're supposed to be. And that's where you need the players to have the football awareness to execute it. And to Jason Garrett last year, everyone was saying it was all his fault. He called some good games. We didn't execute it, which means he probably had the football awareness, but the players executing it didn't. And that is where you have to find the players that have the football awareness as well as the coaching staff.
I made $1.90 today.
Well done, you.
That was down.
Drinks are on you. I almost did it like I meant it. Well.
You know what? Ice for everyone. As it's about all I can afford. Cap question, Tim. When a team offers a contract, let's say $8 million plus $2 million incentive, is the cap hit $10 million with potential earnings, or is it $8 million when they can go through that doesn't count? Well, it's the part of the salary. The cap is the salary. But you do have to look at the potential ramifications of the bonuses. But yeah, you're only on the books immediately for what you're paying out, not your incentives. Now you have to be under the cap when these incentives kick in, because then it becomes part of the salary. Let's see, right until incentives are achieved. Yeah, that's what we're just talking about. Okay. How many of you have ever seen a quarterback suck for 3 years and not be healthy and then turn it around with a new coach, a new playbook to learn in year 4 and become success? Again, I'll wait. Dom, go ahead.
0. None. Nada. Zilch.
Do you want me to actually answer this question?
Go for it. I mean, I haven't seen any, but you've been watching football for a lot longer than I have, but I haven't seen any.
Do you want me to answer this question?
Yeah, because you're going to have a button, which hopefully you can find.
Jeff George.
You have one. Well done.
Former number 1 overall quarterback. Sucked in Indianapolis for 4 years. He went on then to Atlanta to throw for over 4,000 yards, 24 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. He then dropped in 2 years later, went over to Oakland, had another season where he had 29 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. And then he basically fell off the planet. But he had one good season in Minnesota. But he sucked for the first 5 years of his career. He was also a knucklehead.
He also went to different teams, and sometimes you can see
and that's what I'm talking about. But he went to different teams and improved. But yeah,
and sometimes that can be it. It's like Evan Ingram. I think there's a real player in there. I just don't necessarily think he was ever going to achieve it in New York.
I agree. Isn't Tinder free?
James, I'll defer to you.
Oh, no. It says the guy was saying here, stops jerking off cheaper than Tinder.
Fair dues.
Okay.
Oh, yes. The bot you blocked.
Now I get it.
Yeah, I can see it now.
Now it makes sense. What does Derek have to say? Honestly, Gable and Shane openly supporting DJ to pay him as a leader on this team will allow them to control the narrative, which we've talked about a million times, around him, and hold him accountable for his faults. Thoughts? I'll let you take this one first, because I have an opinion on this.
Yeah, I mean, I think, what do you expect them to say? They are not going to publicly come out and slate their quarterback and a player on their team. I think what coaches say in public and what they say in private are not always the same thing. I think they will hold him to account in private, but they won't make those thoughts public. And I think that's what a good coaching staff should do.
My thing is this: what do you want them to say?
Yeah.
Do you want them to come out and say he doesn't fit what we want to run? He kind of sucks. He doesn't do the things we need him to do. They're never going to say that. They are going to say that Daniel Jones is the greatest quarterback since Chuck and Charlie Conley, since Y. Tittle, since Phil Simms, since Kerry Collins, since Eli Manning. Of course they're going to say that.
It's called lying.
It's so rude. Oh, behave. You're so rude. I mean, it's,
I think they hold him to account in private, and so they should have every player. Here's what you did well. Here's what I want you to improve.
I think
every good coach should do.
But see, I don't think that's holding him accountable. That's pointing out what he did wrong. Holding him accountable is a different thing.
Yeah, but you can, and then you're holding him to account if he doesn't then go and improve on those.
Right,
things.
exactly.
But yeah. So it's just like, but the point stands that what they're going to say to him in private, I believe they will have those difficult conversations and the good conversations with him, because there are bits that he will do well. Yeah. But they're not gonna air them publicly, and nor should they.
Right. A mother bird doesn't teach her baby birds how to fly. She pushes them out and tries not to scare the instincts to take over, either a quarterback or you're not. Well, I don't want anyone pushing me out of a nest. I jumped off a roof once.
Of course you did.
Hey, listen, I was like in the 7th grade. I've told the story before. I made a homemade glider out of garbage bags and balsa wood. And we had like a hurricane. And so I built this, and I had waited for us to have a good windstorm. I waited. So we lived on a ranch house. So I got up on the roof and I jumped with my glider in hand. I'm going to tell you this. Orbital
it did not end well.
Did not end well. I landed on the air conditioning condenser and fell in the bushes.
Did you break anything apart from the air conditioning
glider survived.
How about the air conditioning condenser?
I told my father that was wrecked in the heavy wind
in
the store. And the best part of this whole story was I didn't do it once.
Oh,
I did it twice. Because I thought the first time
so it might work second time.
Well, the problem was I made a triangle glider, so I held on to the triangle and then I jumped. So I figured there had to be some like aerodynamic issue going on. So what I did is I put a rope.
Yeah, because that was definitely the issue.
So I put a rope from one end of the triangle to the other in the triangle. And then I put myself in the rope like you would do like a real hang glider, and then I jumped second time.
How did
that's when the condenser broke. Because I landed in the exact.
You know what? I've got a similar story though about bushes. I'll be quick, and it's not me, it's a mate of mine, and I'll do it really quickly. But he once was out, had a few ribenas with his brothers, came back, went to bed. His dad woke him up next morning, got all three of them outside. He's like, "One of you three got so drunk last night, you did that to my roses, and they were completely flattened. So no one is going inside until you tell me you didn't." They're all looking at each other going, "Oh, definitely wasn't me. I know I had a few last night, but it definitely wasn't me." 20 minutes later, he's out there and he's going, "Someone's going to admit to this. Which one of you did it?" His wife came out and went, "What are you doing?" So he explained. He went, "That was you. You came back pissed last night and fell in the bushes."
Fell in the rose bushes. We got a lot of names of quarterbacks here, but I'm gonna prove a point in a second. Alex Smith went to Kansas City and did it. Tannehill went to the Titans and did it. Favre, I don't count Favre because Favre was already a Pro Bowler and All-Pro before he went to Minnesota after the Jets. I don't consider Goff because Goff went to a bad Lions team. Kerry Collins went from
Goff also took the Rams to a Super Bowl. Let's not forget.
Right. Kerry Collins went from the Rams. I mean, not the Rams. Went from the Panthers to the Saints, then to the Giants. So again, the common thread of this theory is it's always a new team. So James is right.
Yeah, and I'm a big believer that some players just need a different team, and they will.
Yeah, he might just need a change of scenery. James says a broken clock is right twice his day as well, so let's not get crazy here. Good point. What if it's a broken digital clock? It always blinks 12. Oh, so it'd still be right twice a day. Oh, snap. James, dude, you just Miyagi'd me.
I'm not quite sure if you're
myself.
being serious or not right now.
I'll never tell. Stanley says, "Hey Tim, hey Don, what do you think about Jalen Hurts?" I do think I've said this before. I think Jalen Hurts is better than Daniel Jones. Jalen Hurts took his team to a playoff.
There's something up here with him. There's something about him. He infuses the players around him. I don't think he's a great quarterback, but I think he's better than Daniel Jones. I think he's and let's not pretend the Eagles were like elite last year in terms of the players on that team. It wasn't like the best roster that was ever built, and they still went to the playoffs.
You're right,
but I still don't think Jalen Hurts will ever win.
I don't think Jalen Hurts is ever going to win a Super Bowl, but I think Jalen Hurts has proven that he can get you to the playoffs.
Yeah,
and
can he do it again? We'll find out. But I expect
people will point out the weakness in his arm strength, but he also can run with the ball, and he doesn't,
and he doesn't fall over.
He doesn't fumble.
I thought you were going to say he doesn't fall over when he runs with it.
No, he might. Ryan Tannehill sucked for 3 years and was injured in semi-renaissance time. Yeah, no, I agree with Ryan. But the point is, RF, these are all guys who went to different teams on the same team, not on a different team. As Mr. Albert says, I'm looking at the quarterback people just listed. I don't know why they all went Super Bowl. Just because they've improved doesn't mean they're Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. You're right. You're not wrong. What do we got here? Neil says, okay, I'm sorry that I can't help this, but ask what is up with the naked HD comments. That's my new sponsor. It's my new sponsor, dude. It's called Spam. I'm so popular. People just want to spam me.
Spam is actually a food product in the UK.
It's also a food product here. Can we get up to 50 likes? We're at 42 likes. That's disgusting. I made $1.90 in the market today, and I got 42 likes. Stanley says, hey, Tim, I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will win the Super Bowl this year, and Tom Brady will retire on top.
I don't think the Bucs will win the Super Bowl this year.
I think the Bucs will win the Super Bowl this year. I mean, you can never put anything past
Brady. He does, yeah.
Yeah, you can never do it. Let's see here. McVay turned Goff around.
And then shipped him out.
And then shipped
So I'm being flippant. I just couldn't resist.
But it's true though. You're not wrong. He turned him around and then shipped him off.
He did. I think.
But can I just wreck that theory as well? Yeah, Goff's rookie season. 112 completions, 1,089 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. Year 2, 3,084 yards, 28 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Year 3, 4,600 yards, 32 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Then his bad year in year 5, 4,600 yards, 22 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. Goff got better each year, and even on his bad years, they are 10 times better than what Daniel Jones has done.
Yeah, look, McVay didn't trust Goff to get them over the hump. They got him to the Super Bowl, but he didn't think Goff could win him one. It's the same with Jimmy G and the San Francisco guys. They think they lost the Super Bowl because of him, and that's why they want to change their quarterback.
Yeah, but
I never thought Goff was a bad quarterback. I don't think he's the.
But now they're worried about Trey.
Yeah, I know.
Now they're worried about Trey. They're worried about Trey, and it's like, is Trey going to be the guy?
I mean, on the plus side, at least they didn't give up a whole load of stuff to get him. Oh wait.
They did. Patrick Lynch. I'm not Patrick Lynch. What's his name? Lynch is a genius. John Lynch is a genius.
Look,
he mortgaged the farm.
I mean, look, you can be the best GM in the world and still make mistakes, right? You can be the best coach in the world and still make mistakes. It's fine to make mistakes.
I don't make mistakes.
Is this like you never get leaks out of NFL organizations? They just give certain confidential briefings to certain select members of the media.
Everything I do, I am always 100% right.
Yeah. How did it go with the glider off the roof?
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky.
An unfortunate song choice, bearing in mind where that singer is right now.
Yeah, that's true. It could have been worse. It could have been the time I thought I was Evel Knievel.
I mean, please tell me.
I will expand this story real quick.
What the latest dumb thing you did now?
I was probably 9 or 10, and I had a Huffy dirt bike. It was like, I think it was like 120 horsepower or something like that. It's like a little mini bike, a little dirt bike. So, Evel Knievel, great jumper, stunt man, all these things. So, you have a dirt bike. The first thing you think you are, or what stupid people like me thought you were Evel Knievel. So, homemade ramp. Oh, it gets good. Homemade ramp. I made a ramp.
You had me. I thought I was Evel Knievel. To be honest,
I had the takeoff ramp and I had the landing ramp, and I made the takeoff ramp higher and I made the landing ramp smaller because that's what Evel Knievel did.
That's what you do, yeah.
That's what you do. And I put a bunch of bicycles in between. So I took off. I had like a good 25 yard. Like,
how many of the local lads' bikes did you have between you and the two ramps?
I believe it was 8. And I got to take out the porn.
You got your bot back.
Yeah, I got to take out the porn. So I believe it was 8 in total. And I had a nice crowd. So
presumably all the boys hoping to God you didn't land on their bike.
I'm about 25 yards out. I start the bike. It sounds like a lawnmower, but you're like 10 years old. You're Evel Knievel. I have on and I love it because I have on my Philadelphia Phillies baseball helmet. Because I got it at a game and I didn't have a helmet. So I put that on. I put a chin strap around. I take off.
You crack on, Sheldon Cooper. You go for it.
I take off. I'm going to the ramp. I hit the ramp. The thing is, at 10, you don't quite understand. When you build a ramp like this, you should probably have some support underneath the ramp. Oh, I hit the wood. Okay. The wood cracks. I go through the wood. I go through all the bikes. And then I fall into the landing ramp. But on a high note.
Oh, there's a high note.
On the high note.
Was the high note at the top of the ramp?
I was not injured.
Oh, was the high note the noise you made when you landed on it because you happened to get a seat in your little special place?
No, I actually went through everything. It wasn't until I hit the takeoff ramp, the landing ramp, that I went over the handlebars of the mini bike. Well,
great.
But I was fine.
How are you still alive?
I really don't know. There's some shit I've done in my life that I really don't know. There's some stuff I'm just like
okay, carry on.
I'll tell you one last motorcycle story. I was 17, had a Yamaha 650, Yamaha FCR 750. No, it wasn't 750. It was 750. And I'm riding, and because you're young, you think you're crazy. You can do whatever you want. So I saw this.
Jump off roofs
I saw this. I was on this straightaway, and I was like, "Oh, I got this straightaway." And I was like, I can get it up as fast as I possibly can. And I was like, I'm going to get it up to the 5th, and I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to get up to like 90 miles an hour. Now, the straightaway is probably only.
How old were you again?
I was 17.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were still 10.
No, I was 17. So so I'm gunning it, and I got my friend behind me. He's chasing me, and I'm gunning it, and I'm going through it. And I'm like, I told myself, I'm going to get this up to like 80. And the problem was I didn't notice that there were speed bumps about half a mile ahead of me. And I didn't know that they were there. So I hit them. And let's put it this way. The bike came out from underneath me. And it was funny, though, because my friend was behind me, and he says it was the strangest shit that I've ever seen. He goes, I saw you hit the speed bump. I saw the bike come out from under you. He goes, but all I see you then doing is running.
Is it like Wile E. Coyote going off that cliff?
He is like, I do not understand how the bike came out from underneath you. You fell off the bike, but you landed on your feet running. He's like, this was back in This was back after the 84 Olympics with Mary Lou Retton. And it was a couple years after. And he goes, I was expecting you to do a Mary Lou Retton and pull one of these. Like, ta-da! I was like, yeah, I'm good. What are you texting?
I've just sent you a clip from a British comedy show called The In-Betweeners, where Jay, who's one of the characters, says he can ride a motorbike, and it doesn't end well. Just imagine.
I have to watch it later.
Yeah, it only lasts 46 seconds, a bit like I Love Life.
That's what she said.
Daniel Jones is. Yeah. Hold on, we got to get back into this. We'll talk about that offline. Andre says Daniel Jones is not good, guys.
Motorbike or My Love Life? Because I ain't discussing My Love Life.
Well, I don't have 47. I have 47. Sorry about that. He's going to get rattled 6 or 7 good games. He's not going to get rattled 6 or 7 good games.
No, I don't think you were saying he was. You were saying that if he did, you were gonna you'd admit you were wrong. And so would I.
Well, I admit when I'm wrong. Kerry Collins had one really good season in Carolina, and then he hit the whole alcohol thing, and that's what drove him out of, and the racial undertones.
And that's all she wrote.
All she wrote. I think Daniel Jones didn't get a chance to develop under a good coach. I think Joe Judge and Jason Garrett's made Daniel Jones regress. I've said this before, and I ran off of like 15 names. Because I said there have been plenty of good to great quarterbacks who played on bad teams with bad coaches who excelled. And the guy on the comment section was like, well, name some of them. And I rattled off, like, I can't remember what video it was, but go find it. I rattled off like 15 names.
Do we really think the Bengals all that? And they made the Super Bowl last year.
Did you ever heard of Andrew Luck?
He was pretty decent from what I understand.
He was pretty decent for a bad team. You had Aaron Rodgers went 4-9-1, but still threw for over 4,000 yards. And he had bad coaching. Dan Marino had a legend as his head coach and played on horrid teams. Brett Favre had 2 seasons in Green Bay where they were like 4-12 and still threw for over 4,000 plus yards. You know, I mean, like I said, you have a Steve Borkowski who played in Atlanta. Terrible teams and terrible coaches. Chris Miller out of Atlanta. I mean, I could just go on. You know, it's not. It's just life.
And the best will elevate those around.
Thank you. Jeff says, Terry. What do we got here? Special guest. Oh, I was a special guest at practice. I put Gardner Minshew over Jones. He's statistically a better quarterback than Jones after his rookie season. The only reason his stats dropped was because the Jaguars were tanking. The porn stash had a good first season. I don't know what he would have been over an extended period of time. I
think that's fair.
Are you looking up Gardner Minshew stats?
No.
Or porn stash?
I'm definitely not doing that. I can't reach the top shelf, you see.
No, you can't. You need a little help. Damien says, I have to click on the comment. Let's see what Damien says. There are people who think we are going to go 4-13 or 5-12. They still think Dan Jones is the guy.
I think there's more to the team than Daniel Jones, right? I mean, this team has got holes all over it. So I think unless you have an elite quarterback, then I think a lot of quarterbacks would struggle to go much further than 6-7 wins, which is probably the best that Jones could do this year. So I think, you know, like I say, with all the holes all over the place, the team is not going to win. I don't think an elite quarterback on their own takes you over the top.
Right.
You need some pieces around them. They cannot do it by themselves, whoever they are. So I don't necessarily think 4-13 or 5-12 doesn't make Daniel Jones a guy or not. I think what makes Daniel Jones not the guy, assuming he has another season like he has in the last 3 years, would be how well he's played over 4 years.
Right. I love this. You're letting us how old you are by naming ancient names. Aaron Rodgers, Joe Burrows, Andrew Luck, Dan Marino,
Moses.
Moses, Jesus, the apostles. I didn't know those guys were ancient.
In fairness, I was citing Emperor Nero earlier. So.
this man names 60s players.
Well, it shows how long he's been watching football. So you know,
first of all, I didn't know Aaron Rodgers. I didn't know Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, Dan Marino, Joe Burrows, Andrew Luck played in the 60s. I know Oliver Luck played in the 70s. Old as hell. But you know what? I may be as old as hell, but you know what I didn't get?
That phrase is trademark.
Damn it!
Get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
I didn't get my ass wonka.
Your bot's back.
Yeah, and I got him. I wonkered him as well. I didn't get my ass wonkered.
Think you gonna get away with it? Not up in here.
Not up in here.
They're all getting put in timeout. Come, I can't get the spot to go away. I blocked him. I put him in timeout. I've done everything.
He's determined.
Tell me for one, tell me he got wonkered. I've said it before. I may be old, but I ain't stupid.
I mean, in fairness, I would have agreed with that before you told the story about the glider, the motorbike, the bike.
That wasn't stupid. That was foolish. That was untamed bravado. There is a difference.
It was tomfoolery.
That was tomfoolery.
Yeah, who I believe was the quarterback for Utah in 86 to 89, if I remember.
Tomfoolery was. I'll tell you one last stupid story. I was in college, and there was a wrestler. He was a professional wrestler. And if you ever know, people that have watched wrestling know there's a guy named Bam Bam Bigelow. And this Bam Bam Bigelow is he's just this huge guy, kind of round, and he's got this big bald head, and he's like 6'7". And I'm at this party, and this guy who looks like Bam Bam Bigelow, but bigger, is literally putting his drinks up in the rafters. He's having his beer, and when he's talking to people, he's putting it in the rafter. That's how tall this guy is. So
you didn't decide to run your mouth against this guy.
So I accidentally bumped into him. And being me, you
ran your mouth, didn't you?
I ran my mouth. I ran my mouth.
I knew where this one was going.
I ran my mouth a lot. And so finally, like 6 people stepped in between the two of us, and they dragged me away, and I'm still running my mouth. And this was in the basement of somebody's house. We made it up the stairs, and as we're walking up the stairs, I looked at my friend Paul and I said, "Thank you." Because I looked at, I said, I had no way. I knew no way to get the hell out of this one. So I said, I assumed he was just going to kill me. I said, but I wasn't going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He was going to have to kill me. My friend was like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Learn to back down gracefully.
Never. Still don't back down. If Mac Jones regresses under Joe Judge, will you blame him if Jones improves this year? Why would Mac Jones? I mean, which Jones?
He's talking about Mac Jones because Joe Judge is obviously at the Pats these days, and I mean, I expect Mac Jones to regress. Regardless, I think he was always.
I think he's going to regress. But is he saying if Mac Jones regresses and Daniel Jones
improves? I think the first one is Mac, the second one is Daniel, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now that makes more sense. Mike Glenn says Kerry Collins played well in Carolina. I'm going to have to disprove that. Kerry Collins, his first season had 14 touchdowns, 19 interceptions, over 2,700 yards. His second season he had 14 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 2,400 yards. His third season, 2,100 yards, 11 touchdowns, 21 interceptions. He only had one good season in Carolina, and that was in 96. I'm an encyclopedia, and my bot is back.
Actually quite scary.
My bot is back. Guess who's back? I keep blocking this, and nothing's happening. Eric, try refreshing the page. All right. Well, you know what? I'm done blocking people. We're just gonna have to deal with porn. All right. Leg has been out of the league for years.
Not that long.
Not that.
Years, maybe.
Oh,
yeah. I can check when you retire, but 3 years. I would have said maybe 4, but I reckon 3.
Oh my God! Tell me you've been blocked, so don't even try to come back.
Yeah, August 2019, he retired. Okay.
You can't. Mom, there, bud. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's see here. How many fans under 30 even know about Frank Gifford? I know about Frank Gifford. I'm under 30.
Of course you are.
My socks are.
Mentally.
What is this? Napoleon Evil Knievel sounds like Napoleon Dynamite just on a dirt bike instead of a mountain bike. No, Napoleon Dynamite made it over the thing. I broke the ramp. The ramp literally cracked. I did not think of weight differential. I did not think that I was probably 125 pounds. The bike was about 400 pounds, or like 300 pounds. So it's 412 pounds. I just assumed you didn't need. I assumed you didn't need any like bracing.
I'll be honest with you. You could have ended that sentence after "I didn't think."
A lot of shit I do is because I don't think. Grant! It's Grant.
Now, Grant, I'm pleased you're here because I've solved your problem.
Talked about you, Grant.
I've solved your problem early on in the stream. I solved your problem. John Mara needs to hire as new head of stadium development Emperor Nero, and all your problems are solved.
We were just talking about earlier a couple hours ago. We were talking about MetLife and everything else, and I actually agree with
about 5-10 minutes in. I reckon go back and watch. You'll enjoy it.
We MetLife is cursed by the Jets. We need to return to New York. We actually won a Super Bowl in 2011.
It's a long time ago, admittedly, but
that was MetLife.
That's MetLife.
That wasn't the Meadowlands. 2007 was the Meadowlands. So we're not really that cursed. How do we get?
I don't believe in curses, to be honest.
You do or you don't?
No, I don't.
Okay. Let's see here. Kerry Collins played well. Never really went in the same sentence. Yeah, he's. What is James sending me now? I hold on. James is literally watching us at work. He sent a picture.
I was going to say he messaged us to say he was at work. He's actually genuinely at work.
He is genuinely watching us. Oh, I'm a good-looking guy. He's genuinely watching us at work.
Oh, you got to forward that on.
I will forward that one to you, Dom, later. I have to get on my other phone. Wait, you know what? Hold on. I think I can forward it on this phone. Oh my God, he's literally watching us work.
Let's not try and do two things at once. It's hard enough reading and talking and thinking.
Shut up. Nobody likes you. Everyone's just here for me. Oh my goodness.
We've already proved that no one likes me. It's why this stream gets less likes than anything else.
Yeah, but you know what? It's all good. I don't care.
Are we at 50 yet?
No, we're not at 50.
Christ's sake, guys, come on.
Cracky, guys, cracky.
I didn't say crikey. I said.
I know, but I said cracky. I don't know. I can't.
Do me a favor. I've not been well. Help me get 50, because otherwise he's going to take the piss all week.
He's got mentioned.
I mean, he's going to take the piss anyway, but don't give him an extra thing to take the piss out of me for.
I know. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to take a screenshot of it, and then I'm going to send it. And then I'm going to do this.
That's called cheating, but well done.
And I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to, what is this called? This app thing. And I'm going to send it to you. I think I sent it to someone I shouldn't have sent it to.
It's a pleasure to watch your mind at work.
Did I just send this to you? Where did I send this?
No
Who the hell am I sending this to? Watching Dom.
You send it back to James.
Technology's a wonderful thing. Evil Knievel.
Watching you use it is a pleasure.
Evil Knievel was a superstar for years, but again, under 30s thinks anyone older than 5 years old is a stone age. I am old. I admit it. Logic's Fine says 4 and 13. What do you think, Dom? Do you think 4 and 13? Do you think we're going to be that bad?
I think 5. 5.
Ooh, that's better.
But 4 and 13 wouldn't shock me. But I'm feeling optimistic today. I think I've said 4 and 13 before. 4 or 5 wins feels about right. But let's see what the final roster looks like. Let's see how we go through preseason and training camps and all that sort of jazz before.
The wife is picking up
before we lock it in.
Lock it in. I'm not going to give any predictions yet.
No, that's what I said. You got to wait until we lock it in.
I'm not giving any prediction yet. For those that don't know, August 21st, James and I are going to go to the Giant game.
They're going to be in a car park together.
We are going to be in a car.
Just saying.
We're gonna. So if anyone's in the parking lot and wants to hang out before we head into the coaches club, we'll be hanging out in the parking lot at the Verizon entrance. Telling everyone early, just in case they want to come out early. Listening for
it's a pleasure to listen to you on this one.
Shut up. Listening to two water boils talk football they don't know. What? What?
Go and listen to someone else then.
Mm-hmm. How about this? I will do this the nice way, Tony. I'm going to do it. Because Dom always says, you got to do it in a nice way. Fuck off, you wanker.
Football's a game of opinion. These are ours. You have different ones. That's fine. But
that's right. And you got banned. And you got banned again.
But we don't need to insult one another. We can have different opinions. It's fine.
I can insult.
Yeah, you can. I'm British. We don't insult anyone.
I can insult anyone I want.
We just pretend we have an empire.
That's the best part about being me. I can insult anyone I want. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, we just pretend we have an empire. We're not rude about it. We just,
You know what I tell people? Because people always get hung up on, I want to care what I care what people think. I don't care what anyone thinks. I care what my family thinks. I care what my friends think. I don't care about anybody else. So. People in life, some people you're gone one day, you're there the next day, you're gone the next.
And by the way, no idea who you sent that message to, but congratulations to them.
It's funny. I think I sent it to my friend in Ireland.
Yeah, close enough. I mean, right side of the pond. Just need to go on a couple of 100 miles more.
He just texted me back all question marks. So I'm assuming that's who I sent it to. We're gonna try this one more time. Everyone, just amuse yourselves. I'm using technology.
Wait! You don't need to amuse yourself. Just watch Tim. It's very, very amusing.
It's like a monkey trying to use tools for the first time.
Why can't I eat this soup with my fork? It's not working.
I can't get this to work. Why can't I get this to work? I'm smart. My mom says so. Oh my God. Okay, wait a minute. I think I got this now. Okay. I think I got this. Oh, right there. There's you. There's Dom. Okay. Yeah, I did send it to Ireland. All right. I think I sent it to you.
You nailed it this time.
I got it.
Yep. James looking fly. He's got some 2 strings and everything.
I know, man. Look at him. Look at James is the man. All right, guys. It's 6:01. Dom. What a stream.
It was fun. I made it.
What a stream. What a stream. My wife is coming home with the sushi. I have this Life 360.
On the plus side, at least it won't be. At least you don't have to cook it.
That's what she said.
Oh my God. Did we get to 50 likes? Did we get
Probably not.
No, 48. Dom, you really are a stream killer.
I know. I
had 1,000 plus views. I had all of these likes last time. Have you on? I got 35 people and 49 likes.
Oh hey, it's 6 p.m. on a Wednesday.
So what's your point?
Just trying to make excuses. I'm the Joe Judge of live streams.
Tom said, y'all don't know football. When you proved last season alone, you were right. Yeah, I was right last season. Honestly, he's delusional. He's probably the guy who made the bet with James saying, oh my God, I hope he's not the guy that made the bet with James because I blocked him. It's great to be godlike. I always love people say
I can just imagine like your wife saying, he's not God, and my response being, should you tell him or should I?
No, why should I? What is this? What is the sound effect?
What is wrong with you?
Chip, I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
But this should be the sound effect for every time I come into the room.
Hail to the king, baby.
So that should be the sound effect every time I come in. Oh my God.
I thought the sound effect would be, I have a massive ego.
Where is he going? What is this? He's going to
the European Football World Cup is in Qatar. So I'm jealous that you are going to the World Cup. So enjoy yourself. But secondly, and I'm not one of these England fans who believes England will win any tournament. England are a very good team right now. I don't think they will win it, but I think they certainly have more than zero chance. A lot more. I think they're one of the favourites. But they won't win it. But I think they're one of the favourites.
The question is going to be,
does anyone care apart from me and Logic's Finest? And
will Mrs. Online Big Blue make it back with the sushi before we hit 50 likes?
Oh hell yeah, I'm on. Unless you want to wonka me for next 20 minutes.
No, hold on. I am. Let's see here. I can track where she's at. Let's see here. I'm gonna see how far away she is. I gotta make this phone work.
You gotta learn to use technology.
I know how to use tech. Oh, she's on the way back right now. She's driving home right now. I don't know. This is gonna be a close one, Dom. She's like 15 minutes away. Well, can we get to 50 likes before Mrs. Online Big Blue comes back with the sushi?
If this
Is
was
Dom really the stream killer?
If this was Sophie's Choice, it would be a lot shorter movie.
If this is Gone with the Wind, I think we might have a shot. Let's see. Nope. Oh, we hit 50. Damn it. I'm not such a loser after all.
Yay.
Has anyone got
a big win for you? Yes, it is.
Has anyone got anything intelligent to say before we leave?
Hey, look, I got one person compliment me on the stream. I'm taking that.
Was that not the same person I just banned for life?
No, it wasn't. It was Neil O'Brien, who is my favorite person in the world right now.
Oh, let's see what Logic finds right here. My daughter just got her master's degree, and I flew back from New York for the ceremony this week. Haven't been in New York since 2021. That was last year.
That was last year. That's only 6
months. Well, congratulations to Logic finds the daughter on the master's degree.
Indeed.
She seems like she would have something intelligent to say.
Yeah. As opposed to making it sound like I've not been in New York for a while, when in fact it was last year.
Listen,
I'm taking a look at Logic's finance, so I have time.
I have a degree in business. I have a bachelor's in business.
I also have one in business.
And I laugh because it does me no good. It does me no good.
It's a piece of paper that got me a job, and after that, it's done nothing else.
No, you don't have a job. I wish I had a job. Oh my goodness gracious! No, I don't.
But yeah, in all seriousness, no, congratulations to you.
Congratulations.
Because I've enjoyed several debates with you about several things, including reminding me of one of my whiffer predictions for 2021 the other day. So thanks for that.
And Logic Finance says, my wife and I live in Germany. Oh, that's right. You live in Germany. That's right.
Yeah,
I'm only in NYC for 5 weeks a year. That's a long time. I feel, I feel lazy. He goes to Germany. He goes from Germany to New York for 5 weeks, and I don't want to drive 1.5 miles down to the store. We literally have a
store. To be fair,
we literally have a store, like a little quick stop store, like a little convenience store. That's probably about, I would say, 1/4 mile outside of our development. From my house to the quick stop's probably 1/4 mile. I don't even want to go there.
I mean, it's getting closer by the second.
It's very close.
How much of a plate tectonic's moving in your area right now? I mean,
I know what that means. I know about tectonic plates. Is Brightwell our number 2 running back?
Hell no.
No.
Well, if he is, we've got problems.
He's number 3, 4 at best. We're
written all over him.
You're solid with Logic's Finest, man. You're solid.
Nailed it.
Well, let's see here. I was born in NYC, raised in it, but I live in Germany now, so we're going back to New York. It's big for us. Well, that would make sense. It's not like it's not like it's an easy, it's not like, oh, I'm going down the road. I'm going to go get my shepherd's pie over at the shepherd's pie place.
You brought that one home.
It's my British humor. Me and Benny Hill.
Just you and Benny Hill are as solid as me and Logic's Finest.
Oh, look at this. We get overpriced.
Oh, no.
I have blocked this person 1,000,000 times and I can't get him to unblock or block or whatever. I blocked him.
You've got to admire his determination, right?
You really does. He wants to sell me some porn.
And I believe in the area of entertainment this chap is selling, repetition is your friend. So,
I think it's great because he really wants to sell some porn. I'm always looking for a sponsor.
You've got one. It's Poppycockers.
Oh, yeah, that's porn.
Who's Finest?
Honey Pop, man, we're leaving. All I'm saying is the Jaguars did it with Blake Bortles one time. Yeah, when Blake Bortles threw for 4,000 yards, like 40 touchdowns one year.
I was rooting for the Jags so hard that year.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
All right, everyone, we're out of here. It's late. It's like, and the porn is back. What do they have, like 50 accounts? Because I keep blocking them.
It's a bit like your YouTube account to get those subscribers.
I love watching my subscriber account. You know what the best part is? Top Gun.
How many have I cost you today?
My best thing about my subscriber count is this. I'll do a video that everyone will like, and then my count will go like this. And then I'm me. And it just goes down.
And then you have me on and it tips even further.
Oh God, having you on is just a kiss of death.
Yeah, I've killed it.
But it's all good. It's all good. Let me ask. Let me ask if we get 2 Pro Bowlers. I don't know if they may be Pro Bowlers. I don't think they're going to be Pro Bowlers this year, but they could be Pro Bowlers down the road.
I like the pickups. Let's see how they play.
See, Honeypot's about to click the porn. See, I would be great at this. Great sponsorships. This would be great. I could be the Giants YouTube porn channel. It's a niche. Learn that in business school. You have to have a niche.
A niche. That really bothers me when you say niche, by the way.
Because it is a niche.
Literally, I cringe every time you say it. I'm like,
niche. And this stream, as always, has gone completely off the rails.
As always. I'm still amazed I'm alive right now.
I'm still trying to figure out
I'm amazed you're alive, actually, after those stupid things you did.
Those aren't even the dumbest stories.
No, I can well believe it. That's what scares me.
Those aren't even the dumbest stories. What do we got here? Coming from work, listening to you guys, love the takes. I watch each video. Well, thank you. The Puerto Rican super saying hey.
That's a tongue twister. I'm just going to say thanks. And Tim,
thank you.
Keep listening.
And keep listening. Yes, keep listening, because you know what? I don't know. He says
some good things from time to time.
I was going to say something smart.
Really? First time for everything. Yeah, I wasn't joking, but okay.
It was Irish Rover. I haven't seen Irish Rover in a long time. Tim, I do enjoy your opinions. Well, thank you, Irish Rover. I haven't seen you in a while.
Look, at the end of the day, you have opinions as well, and that's all that matters. And they stay consistent, and when you're wrong, you say you're wrong. When you're right, yeah, let us all know.
And opinions are like assholes.
I
don't know. Forgot the rest of it. Oh, everyone has one. There you go. I was going to say something with hemorrhoids.
I was going to go with, but it's the PG show.
It's the PG show. You know what? I'm just going to say this because all aboard the Malik Wills Express.
All aboard.
And the porn's back.
Express.
I'm going to say this, Dom, to wrap up the show today, because I'm tired of clicking porn. So, you know what? You
probably want to rephrase for clarity. He means clicking to block the porn. I mean, maybe not, but you know.
You like the show, you don't like the show. It's one of those things that we just give opinions. And you could take it with a grain of salt, you could take it either way. It's just us giving opinions, and it's just us having a good time. And I will tell you this, but the people that I don't think, Dom, get this and get me, don't understand. I'm not being serious 100% of the time. There is something called sarcasm. I know, shocking. And you know what a lot of this is also for? Entertainment value. And it's just having fun. So you know what? Have a beer. Don't cost nothing. Enjoy life. Just have a good time. I wouldn't be this sexy at 60 plus with a full head of hair if I wasn't always having a good time.
And there's a life lesson for us all.
And there's a life lesson. And as they used to say in the G.I. Joe PSAs, and now you know. Just have fun, guys. It's all good. Like it, you don't like it. But you know what? I got so many people that don't like it that watch. Which is great. And I respect those people.
And also, look, if you disagree, tell us why. Tell us what you think, you know.
But be intelligent about it.
Yeah, give it a go.
Because, we're not going to be.
But yeah, so just to check one thing. Sorry, this is a really important point. This show's for entertainment, right?
I think it is.
Oh, college stats really matter.
Oh,
you go again.
I'm tracking my sushi. Okay, I'm tracking the sushi, and I gotta get naked because it's loving is cheap.
Oh well, it certainly is was you as tight as me.
And
That's what she said.
And knowing is half the battle. Quote from G.I. Joe. All right, everyone, we're out of here. I appreciate everyone stopping by, having a good time. Tom, I appreciate you coming in. Can't wait to see the beer prices are going to be like at the stadium with inflation. Oh yeah, I'm getting drunk in the parking lot. August 21st.
I really dread to think what you and James in a parking lot with beer are going to do, but there we go.
We're going to have a barbecue grill. We're going to have everything, man. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. Going with James, man. I can't wait. Tuto! Dropping a super cat as we're leaving, Tuto. Salute to Tim. Dropping by the album. Pay the proper respect for all the Giant fans around the world. Kicking the slap out of it. Say, boys, out the loser doors. Forget about it. And I did that without reading.
I was going to say.
What's up, Tuto? Hopefully the guys are going well. Be safe, everyone. We're out of here. Appreciate everyone stopping in. Don, I appreciate you coming in here and dealing with this. And you know what? In the immortal words of Abraham Lincoln, I have yet to begun to fight.
I thought you were going to say, don't go to the theater.
I actually was, but I stopped myself. But luckily you wrapped up that joke. Oh my goodness.
I'm pleased to serve.
You're pleased to serve.
That's what she said.
All right, everyone, we're out of here. Appreciate everyone coming in, dropping in for as long as they did. Dom, see you guys. Hopefully we'll do a stream in another week or two, but check out the daily videos and we'll let's just wait and see where the season goes. And Dom and I, we're out.